シアターチャンネルワウワウは年間500本以上の映画をノーカットに放送。さらにスポーツ、音楽などのスペシャルプログラムもますます。
ただみの方お断り。ワウワウ見るならフリーダイヤル3-80805。さあワウワウ5チャンネル。
地球では3分しか時間のない彼であった。唐揚げ入りで豚骨味。明星カップのチャルメラ新発売。お父さんも大変だね。
Hello and welcome to episode 37 of Collect All Monsters, and I'm here in Japan, and my co-hosts are unfortunately not here with me. My name is Kyle, and this is, of course, the YouTube show that celebrates the collectible side of the Kaiju genre, and I'm here with all of these good people who we're going to be talking about our favorite Kaiju love connections, plus, of course, our standard segments like the news, where we're talking about Wonder Festival, which happened just last week. And I am very happy to be here and very happy to pass this off to my good friend Leslie Chambers, who's going to kick things off with our first segment that we always do here on Collect All Monsters, Showa and Tell. So Leslie Chambers, my friend, what's going on, dude? How have you been and what have you gotten in the past month?
Oh, I've been good. Been chilling, been working hard like a Django field slave, but other than that, I've been all right.
Working hard or hardly working?
No, trust me. As you can see around me, I work a lot, obviously. I mean, but hard work pays off. You know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah, but welcome to the February edition of Collect All Monsters 2023. First and foremost, happy Black History Month to everybody. To my co-hosts, to people in the chat. Plug. Yeah.
Love you guys.
That really means a lot. Thank you. Again,
your show was awesome, Leslie.
Oh, you know what? I was about to
It
plug
always
that.
is.
Don't forget to talk about that. That was awesome.
If you haven't seen our show on Collect All Monsters that I did recently, the African Americans chat, Kaiju fans and collectors, the third edition, because we're doing this for 2 years, with myself, our very own awesome John Ruffin, Kaiju Kim, Adrian Settle, aka Godzilla Train 1090 for the Monster Attitude Show, and of course Marcellus Winters, the guy who gets a model kit every 35 minutes.
Oh my god! It's like 5 a day.
Yeah, he's the John Ruffin of model kits.
Oh yeah.
Again, pretty much.
Like every 35 minutes, he gets a new kit or a box day again. So, but again, we all got together, had a great, fun discussion. So if you're not checking it out, please check it out in the archives. So I mean, Collect All Monsters has basically got you on lock as far as like entertainment. Starting with that show. Then last week we had the Winterfest coverage, courtesy of the awesome Kyle Yao.
Great.
You know what I mean? Now we got our episode here going on today, and 2 weeks from now, myself, David, and a few of the awesome artists are going to get together and talk about model kits. So again, Collect All Monsters has got you on lock for the foreseeable future. And let's talk about what I got for myself. Just 3 things, 3 awesome things from the Showa period, the best period, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Now,
we agree.
Yes.
I did share this.
We are unanimous in this.
I did.
I didn't know love.
I mean, why should you? But anyways, but.
Oh my God, I'm gonna smack you.
We ain't talking about Heisei. We ain't talking about overrated crap. We're talking about the awesome goodness that is the Showa period. Now, I couldn't wait until this show to showcase it. So if you're on the Collect All Monsters Facebook group, I did a little live unboxing there. But in case you didn't see it, or just in case you did, you're gonna see it again because it's awesome. First and foremost, the Toho Maniacs line of the
Oh my God, yes.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Hammer does it no justice.
Oh God, look at that evil grin.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Dang, I should have
So let me ask the Monster Zero fanatics in the room, David and Kyle specifically, what do you think? What do you think?
I think it looks really good.
I think it looks great, and I can't wait to get mine. It's in the mail right now. It's on the way.
Do you think it's the controller or is like one of the side dudes? What do you think?
Well, I know the real answer because I talked to G about it. So, Kyle, what do you think?
I'm gonna probably have an incorrect trivia moment here and say that does look like the controller because he's got two pieces of flare on him.
Right, the flare.
It does.
Thank you, John. Thank you for getting that joke.
Oh, right, yeah, flare. Okay, he must work with flingers, right? He works with flingers.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a good assumption. However, from the horse's mouth, Mr. Akamoto, it is a random Planet X citizen.
Really?
Because it's not really, it's not Tsuchiya-san's likeness.
That makes sense.
I don't think it specifically is Tsuchiya-san's likeness. I mean,
hey, watch a controller.
Like him. Hey, what's a controller? Perfect, yeah. But it is a random Planet X citizen / guard / army dude or whatever you want to call them. But it is not the controller as far as G. Okamoto is concerned. So
but this is, in my opinion, the best one they have done so far. Better than Matango, better than Dr. Serizawa. It's going to be interesting when the Mysterian aliens come out, But again, this is my favorite from the line, and I hope the next one. And John, you going to feel me on this?
We're going there.
I hope the next one is one of the 8th aliens.
Yes.
1974.
Yes.
Oh my God.
With the statue.
Please give John that statue before he goes into cardiac arrest because he's been asking that for like 4 or 5 years already. So
those look small though. I thought is that smaller than Serizawa?
No.
Yeah. What do you think?
No, it's about the same size.
No, I tell you what. Here we go.
He's just got more equipment on. That's the way.
They're the same size. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's skinnier. Those aliens, they don't eat much.
Yeah.
But
No.
Yeah, but this is a cool line to get into. It's unfortunate that they didn't really offer it on the US RIC site. I know a lot of people were looking for that, so really had to go to the Japanese website. I actually looked into it. Thank you to Eric Stokes for helping me get one. What you have to do is sometimes when a figure comes out, especially if it's been long sold out for pre-orders, jump on Buyee because there are a lot of people that are buying them and they are selling them on Buyee.
Yes.
So
Buyee has everything.
You can get them for pretty much the same price that they were when they went up for pre-order.
Nice.
Yeah.
So check them out because again, in like a month from now, it just came out like 2 weeks ago. So I can see this guy in a month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now being because it was like $70 when you first got it.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's going to go up. It's going to go up.
Yeah,
now, Leslie, there's another way to get it too because I missed out on all of those things that you just mentioned. Big Bad Toy Store has them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
sometimes Amok Time Toys and Big Bad Toy Store, and also sometimes not Showcase, Sideshow. You can check those specific places.
Does Awesome Collector have these too?
Yes, I got mine through Awesome Collector. But he sold it.
Oh, gotcha.
But there's still some, Christina, Big Bad Toy Store. And that's where mine's coming from. So
again, if you're a fan of Monster Zero, you need to have this in your collection. As you can see right there in the corner right there, right there. That's my Monster Zero set up back there with the saucers and Godzilla and Rodan. So he's going to stand right there along with the monsters that he tried to control to take over the planet. But yes, this is a nice figure. In my opinion, the best one they have made from the Turtle Maniacs line thus far.
Can't wait to get mine.
Wonderfully done.
You know, people were a little bit disappointed because we didn't see any new reveals at Wonderfest. In this line. There was nothing.
Yeah. I was surprised, honestly, that they didn't have
Me too.
a third Mysterian there.
Oh, yeah, right.
Or something, or a prototype of something, because this is such a great line for collectors because it fills gaps in collections and they're reasonable.
Absolutely.
And they're different.
Then they're different. So I was disappointed amongst some of the other people who I had seen comment on the posts about Wonderfest.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly, Christine.
Yeah.
And on top of that, these human figures really drives the point home that, you know what, Godzilla fans, the human stories in these movies are actually important.
That's right.
Yep.
Just saying, they're important.
That's right.
So
preach.
So again,
I want my girl Mickey Sagusa.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Now,
I would die. Oh God, I would die.
Yeah. The second one I want to talk about is, of course, John. Again, you're going to feel me on this, but I got myself the 30 centimeter favorite sculptors line, everybody's favorite Cosmic Monster,
yes,
Bionic Monster, Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, yes! Oh, my gosh! Oh, it's so shiny.
Yeah. Yes,
wow, he is really shiny. He's brand spanking new.
Get one.
I can't wait.
And you know what? Honestly, I didn't pre-order this because, again, I'm getting to the point where I have to be really selective. Right, and I was content with the gigantic, the 30 centimeter I have, the Death of Ralph. Like, you know what? I don't really need another Mecha Godzilla.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but then I thought
what
about
you
it.
Sounds like everybody does.
I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? This is from one of my most favorite sculptors of all time, Monster Maker 28. I was like, you know what? Let me, and I was able to score one off of Hobby Search, and I have to say. For a while, the gigantic Mecha Godzilla was my favorite. I'm sorry, but this one kind of like trumps.
Wow.
Yes,
it really does.
I can look at it and tell. Yes.
Oh my God, you got one, right? You got one.
Yes.
Right? Oh my God,
I'm waiting for it. Just waiting.
This is great, and again, the port opens. The port opens, and yeah, I'm gonna try.
You got the Rick?
No, no, I didn't get the Rick because the port opens. I didn't get the Rick because the Rick light up in the eyes are the rainbow color, right? The rainbow colors. Barry got the 75 that does that, so I didn't really need another one.
Yeah,
but again, it was a last minute thing that I decided to get this guy. So me getting just the standard was more than enough.
So nice looking. I love the port opens. That's so cool.
Oh yeah,
and even on the standard that opens, that's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And again, there are a couple more floating on Hobby Search. I think Awesome Collector may have a couple of Ricks and standards there. But again, this is like my favorite. I mean, I never thought something would top the gigantic, but this guy did. And again,
I was thinking
that.
Yeah. But again, this is confirmation that at some point we will get the 1974 Godzilla from
Order 75.
Order 75 into the favorite sculptors line. It's only a matter of time.
75 would be awesome.
It's only a matter of time. So yeah, this is. This is.
Oh my God.
Oh yes.
This is cool.
They owe us a good 74, 75. They do.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do. I think they will between now and next year when the film turns 50. I'm sure we will get something.
Oh.
Don't forget.
You're probably right.
50.
Yes.
Oh, then that's when it's going to happen for sure.
And they got to reissue the King Shisa statue. They're going to have to do that at some point.
You know that's coming. You already know that's coming. But last and certainly but not least, again, I want to thank Charles Blankenship and, of course, our very own Picasso, one of the Picassos on this show, David F.Co. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting my hands on these awesome KOC 40 centimeter kits. David helped me out with the 64. He helped me out with the 62. And now it is Gigantis.
Oh,
fantastic. The Godzilla 1955.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I'm so glad you like that.
Awesome.
You know what? That's something you don't hear too often. 55 Godzilla being all beautiful, Oh my God.
He's pleasant.
Look at that face.
The dorsals look amazing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the face is awesome.
I really love the turned head. Yes,
Oh,
please.
Head.
I've seen your
Oh,
picture,
okay. I
David.
put it straight ahead.
You know what? I
But it's
refused.
dope.
I
It's dope.
refused to do the
Oh,
goofy
yes!
eyes. I did
That
not
is
do
Oh my
the
gosh,
goofy eyes.
yes.
That is so
So good.
55. Yes.
That's amazing.
Can I just say that, like, of all the Godzilla scenes of all the movies that I ever thought would make a cool diorama, my favorite idea was to do the scene where he's leaving Osaka. He's getting drawn away by the light flares,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
like then the explosion happens, and he
That's it.
turns his head,
Yeah.
and that's the moment
There it is.
Osaka is hosed.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that to me, that scene made the movie
That's
what it
scary.
is, and I think that turned head just makes me think, oh, dude, I can't wait to see people do dioramas with this because
Oh my God.
just
You know what,
fantastic. And of course, I agree with Oscar. Amazing work, David. I love
Thank
the
you
photos
so
I
much.
saw earlier.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
goodness.
And
Yeah. Brilliant.
I told you,
It's
I
like-
got
The
you for all the
detail is
KOCs.
amazing.
It's
The
awesome.
doors-
Like I'm torn now to find out
Beautiful.
which one's my favorite between this guy, the 64 and the 62.
Oh,
Because
damn.
David,
What?
yeah, because David not out of the park.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
David is one of the few people on this planet that can actually make the 55 look good, look great. You know.
Snaggletooth.
So
Snaggletooth.
again, I couldn't
It's awesome.
not show this. So thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
David. Really do appreciate it.
Oh,
Before I
my
move
pleasure.
on, real quick, one last thing, and I'll be done. I talked to Ibaraki, and I didn't talk to him, but I asked him on Facebook last week, and I asked him because now with the 99 40 centimeter that he done, right? He's now downgrading that into a 28 centimeter kit, right? And he might do that for
nice.
the other ones he has done, 64, 54, 62,
Please.
or whatever. But I asked him, are there any more plans to release more Godzillas in the 40 centimeter scale? And he said yes. So
Oh.
round the room real quick. What would be your pick if you could choose one? If you were able to get one, what design would you pick? I go last. So
70.
David, go first. Go ahead, David.
Me? All right. I gotta say Daisenso Goji 65, 66. Please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
And
need
thank
one.
you.
That would be fabulous.
What about you, Christine?
Okay, I don't want to say the obvious answer, which would be
Yeah.
89. Let me think, because oh gosh, I just love. Probably, I would go with. I would say 91. The 91
Mhm.
Godzilla.
Yeah, that's a great
I can
choice.
get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah. John?
Well, I just want 74, so they can figure it out, get it right.
Yeah.
Everything
Get
will be
it
all
right.
right. Yeah, well, yeah.
Kyle, what about you?
I want to agree with David with the 65, but because I'm going to be different, I'm going to say I'd like to see a 68, specifically because Ibaraki does those double heads.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to have him
Oh,
in his
yes.
sort of attack pose,
Yeah.
and then another one where he's either got his head turned or looking up, or like
Yes.
where he does the swoop with his breath.
Yeah.
Like just
Oh my
just some
God,
ideas
that'd
for
be
the
cool.
future, Ibaraki-san.
I'm not mad at that idea. I am not mad at
Great
that.
idea.
And mine, even though this is a controversial one.
67.
There you go. That's it, David. 67.
No, someone down there said 67.
I love it.
Yeah.
I know Kyle is like, icky, ooh, that's gross. Good. But I love the 67. I love that fat, pudgy face. I do.
Greg
I love
Benton.
it.
Greg
I'm not
Benton
gonna
would be
apologize
stoked
for it.
if they do it.
But-
He's the biggest 67 fan.
Right, but I'm glad that Ibaraki is still going to continue with the 40 centimeters. But
Yes.
but it's going to be interesting to see what will be the next one. But that's it between the Alien, the model kit, thanks David, and the Mecha Godzilla.
Of course.
I have been getting some great box days. And again, thank you so much, everybody,
wow.
for being here for this new awesome episode of Collect All Monsters. So I'm going to kick it over to my main man up in Seattle, Washington, the one and the only David Epdotco. What's going on, David?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on our February episode. And before I say anything else, I have to give a shout out to one of our viewers from Mexico City, Sergio Trejo.
Awesome.
I know you're in the chat room. I thought I saw your name down
Hey.
there.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thank you
joining.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a loyal viewer and for the kind words that you always have to say about our show. So it's much appreciated.
Thank you.
We see you out there. We see you. We see you. So
Literally watching right now.
literally watching now in Mexico City. I love that
Awesome.
we're
Thank you.
truly an international production, right? and I love that. I think it's great. So, yeah, I just was so amazed to see all the awesome things that Kyle and the crew posted. Hey, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Posted from Wonderfest. It was sort of bittersweet for me because I was this close to going to Wonderfest in 2019. I was in Japan, but not in the right city at the right time. But Kyle got to do it, and I'm happy for him, and I'll do it one of these days. So it's going to happen. Either summer or winter. I don't know which one. Probably winter because it's too hot in summer. But anyway, I'm sort of really blown away by what I got this month since the last time we had a show. I spent more money than I normally would, but it's only for two two things that were my grails. And I couldn't have done it without the help of two people. And first I'm going to say Nick Sides. Nick Sides is an awesome guy. Yeah. He's just so helpful and awesome. And I'm going to show you right now. I finally got Akama Tenshi.
Wow.
Designer.
Good.
All right, man.
Now, let me make sure I say this right. So this particular figure has a name. It is the Iridium Glitter Shin Desu Goji.
Wow.
That's his name.
Gorgeous.
It's phenomenal.
But
wow.
As far as I'm concerned, he is the Pride Day Godzilla. Because I mean,
yeah, he's perfect.
I know that wasn't the intention of the designer, but it is my intention to have Pride in this figure, and you got to believe he's going to be in every picture of the month of June because it's Pride Month, and it is. I have been wondering about these figures for so long, and finally to have one in hand. They're big, they're beautiful, they're solid, and I mean, look at this thing. It's absolutely amazing.
I love the head size and the dorsal.
I mean, the dorsal plates.
Yeah, like amazing.
Oh, detailed.
I it's definitely worth the money. I mean, these are not inexpensive
100%.
figures, and they're super limited. If you get a chance to get your hands on one, I highly recommend it. I mean, a lot of them are done through auction. I just happened to luck into this one, but it blew me away, and I finally have one in my collection. And believe it or not, I'm satisfied. I don't think I need another one. I'm pretty happy that I have at least one, and if I'm going to have one, I'm glad it's this guy. So thank you, Nick.
Congrats.
And I love it. I don't even know where I'm going to put him because he's so awesome. He's got to have a place of honor somewhere. He may actually end up living upstairs. What's that?
Your pictures of him?
Oh, so photogenic.
My gosh.
You got that right.
Gorgeous.
Photogenic. I mean, it's just amazing. And
looks like glass. Blown glass.
It does. It looks
Exactly.
like glass. And when you the weight of this figure, I mean, I don't have it with me, but even the header card is beautiful. Where the hell is it? It's not anywhere near here. The header card, it's just gorgeous and a class act. But anyway, this is one of the things I did get this month.
Fantastic.
And the second
Very
thing
nice, David.
sort of came to be when I was just admiring some of the things that were coming out from Wonderfest. And this particular model kit was re-released in a very limited fashion at the last week's Wonderfest. And it is it doesn't really have a name, but the sculptor's name is Ryo Oyama. And he's the guy who did that really dope Gyango model kit that Kyle posted a while ago. And I actually reposted another image of it in our group, so you can check it out. But anyway.
That's Oyama?
Yes.
Oyama's the guy from the Gigantics as well.
This is a I think when I look at this figure, I see a hybrid of the Shodai Godzilla and the Giant.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys can see his eyes. I did his eyes like GMK eyes. Can you see?
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
You did an amazing job.
And he's done except for his claws and his dorsal plates aren't finished, but I think I got the base color and all the highlights on there. But it is probably my favorite model kit I've ever built, and it's just spectacular. And you know what would make me happier than a pig, and you know what, is if we got a design like this new Godzilla movie.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, I know it's probably not going to happen. It's a pipe dream, but
next year.
Hey, put it out there. Maybe the Universal will hear me and say, hey, yeah, maybe that is a good idea. It is the epitome of power and evil and
horror.
It's a
yeah.
great design.
Like,
Great.
He look like he's laughing. He look like he's laughing.
No, he does not. He's not laughing. He's snarling. That's a snarl.
Oh my
But-
gosh,
Yeah, it'd
I
be
love
great to
it.
shoot.
I
Great to
love the
shoot.
pose. I love everything
Mhm.
about it. So
Mhm.
again,
It really looks like a
Menacing.
man in a suit too.
it does.
Yeah,
it
it
does.
does.
It does. Very, very hard to find. Very limited and very, very expensive.
We need
You know what?
we need FSL for that one.
Oh,
You know what?
hello! I would
Oh,
buy 2.
shoot.
If FSL came, I'd buy a
All
second.
right. Yeah.
This G Akamoto, if you're watching or watch later, please. Maybe FSL.
What was his best work? he
Gigantic.
did?
Gigantic. Hello.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
What was the best work? Between,
What's that?
Come on. It's like, audience, tell us now, which is his best work? That one or the 55 here? Which one was David's best work between
Oh,
these two?
stop it.
David's done so many good ones, though.
I
So
don't
many.
know. I do think that I was proud of myself for making the 55 not look goofy. I mean,
Oh.
if I did the eyes the way they're supposed to be,
Oh,
I was like, Leslie,
You lose your
do you want me to do the
Yes.
eyes
You
like,
lose your
like,
patience.
like they're supposed to be, or do you want me to do it like you want it? He's like, do it the way
Yes.
I want it. So, but anyway, it's phenomenal. And thank you so much, Charles Blankenship. Again, Leslie
Nice,
mentioned him
nice.
before. He's a super cool guy, really awesome modeler, and I really appreciate you selling this to me. He got this one at the last Wonderfest because they released it last year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He wasn't able to build it. He has so many kits backed up that he said, I won't get to this
Oh,
for a long
wow.
time, so I want you to be able to have it. So
That's fantastic.
Nice.
that's it. Those are my 2 items,
Awesome.
and I got to put them down carefully. I'll be so upset.
You ain't lying.
I know.
You ain't
I know.
lying.
That's why I'm afraid to get resin.
But that is I am so satisfied and so happy with those 2 items that I don't care if I get anything for quite some time. I say that now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I know Robert Dwyer's watching. He's going to hold me to. He's like, David, I thought you said that you were satisfied. I am satisfied. Those are great.
For now.
And again, like they kind of busted the budget, but you got to do it. You got to do that sometimes. You know
Yes,
how it is
sir.
in this
Yes,
collective world,
sir.
so. Anyhow,
Okay.
that's it for me. Let's pass it down to Christine Chapin. What's up, Christine?
Hey guys! Well, I just want to say happy Valentine's Day. I hope you have
Excuse me.
an awesome weekend, and I'm really looking forward to the show. So, actually, I have not gotten anything this past month. Actually,
Wow.
some bills I had to pay, so I had to be responsible.
Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan. But I mean, I do have some pre-orders. I did buy something, but it's not here yet. So I guess
What'd you get?
I think it doesn't get released till a couple months. But so I thought maybe what I would talk about and show off is some other things in my collection that I haven't
Yes.
shown on the show yet. This M1GMK
Yeah.
was my first Sofubi piece I had bought for myself on
Oh,
Valentine's
really?
Day,
Wow.
February
Oh, cool.
2015.
Get out. Awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
So this is
Good
my
choice.
February 2015, my very first
Awesome.
Sofubi. I was like, I
Wow.
had seen everyone else posting about them, and originally I wasn't into Sofubi. I liked all the movie accurate kind of stuff, the X Plus.
I can't even imagine a time when you
I
didn't like
know.
Sofubi. It's
Boy,
weird.
did that
No.
change. Yeah,
Well,
Well,
really.
this
Such a
this
time.
is what changed it, and I was addicted. Like after this, I was like, I don't know what it was. Like just something, and this sculpt is just, I mean,
It's intense.
this M1 sculpt
You know,
is fantastic.
Kyle does
Yes.
not like that sculpt at all. He hates that one. But the rest of us can appreciate it. He thinks it's the worst thing ever. I mean, you know, what? No,
So
it's
this
great.
is my very first Sofubi piece, 2015.
It is one
And
of the
then I
best
thought,
Sofubi sculpts ever, I think.
oh my gosh, they do. And I'll just show this one off too quick.
Yeah.
Because it's
No, the hell I
pink,
don't.
pink for Valentine's Day. This is the Godzilla 2000 by Marmot. So this was actually, I got May 2017 or 2018, I think, when Akamatsu-san, the president of Marmot, had an event in New York, like 3
I remember you
hours
went
from
to
where I
that.
lived.
Yep.
So yeah, I had to go down, and this is one of the event exclusives he had. But this, I mean, I really love this piece. I don't think I've ever shown it off on here, but
Phenomenal.
No, I've
crazy,
never seen
like
it.
bright, and it's kind of, you know, themed for this month, you know, Valentine's Day. And I guess the last piece I'll show off which can never have too many Biolantes. Can never have too many Biolantes. The Marmot Biolante, this one I actually bought from Samson West, my awesome friend. And I know he wants it back, but I'm sorry, Samson. I can't let this go.
And you know what, Christine? Samson West bought it from me, so that was mine originally.
Oh, you said, oh
wow.
My gosh, it's coming full circle. I love that.
Full circle. That used to live over here. Oh, well.
Oh,
wow.
I get a little piece of David with me.
You do.
I love
it.
But I just
Samson's
love this
shady.
piece. I know, and I feel bad because it's just like, it's just such a, I mean, it's just a gorgeous piece.
I regret saying it.
But yeah, so hopefully I'll have some stuff coming in next month. I mean, I have the Super 7, I think the Godzilla versus Biollante set. That's coming out next month, isn't it?
Which one is that now?
The Super 7?
I didn't order that one, so I'm not sure.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's next month. But yeah, so I've kind of just been on the down low this month because saving up for G-Fest also. Because I'll be going to G-Fest this year. So I want to like save aside. So I know, Leslie, I know you're so excited to see me. We're gonna have the best time together. But yeah, so I'm trying to save up some money for that so I can have, you know, some extra spending cash and buy some cool stuff. And see everyone. I'm so excited to see everyone.
Like Kyle said, I can't remember a time that you didn't dig Sofubi. That doesn't even register in my mind.
Pre-February 2015, that would have been me.
Wow.
I was all about X Plus.
Wow.
And SH Monster Arts. Yep.
Wow.
And then after that,
oh yeah,
Yep.
I do remember a young Christine stepping on the scene with her Monster Arts figures. I do recall that now.
That's how
back when you used to wear the cap with the flip-up hat, the Tokidoki hat, right?
Yes, my Tokidoki hats. I still
See,
have them.
we've been friends so long now.
that was 2011.
Well, I remember the first time we met Christine. Well, I met her at Denny's at G-Fest. I thought you were Brian's girlfriend.
Right, yeah.
And because you guys were like joined at the hip. I'm like, oh, this must be his girlfriend. She's pretty cool.
No,
I'm sure Brian wasn't upset that people thought that.
No, he probably perpetuated that myth a little bit too. So I mean, you know, whatever.
Brian.
Bro, is that your girlfriend? I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, look over there. Yeah.
Maybe. I think so.
Sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian. Brian doesn't watch our show, so he should watch the show.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Womp, womp.
Yes, thank you.
Good up.
Someone's gonna tell him he doesn't get mad now, but that's all right.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
Good.
So yeah, that's
I'm fiery this morning.
I don't really have anything for this. Oh, but I have this too.
Oh, that's awesome.
My stuffy.
Yeah, that's
I
cute.
love my stuffy. Like a little stuffy. I think I got this for Valentine's Day, like 2010, possibly.
He's
I
a
can't. It was
GMK,
either Valentine's
right?
Day or Christmas, but
GMK.
Actually, I don't know. It's the Toy Vault.
Matt Frank designed that for Toy Vault specifically. I think it's supposed to be sort of like a hybrid
like
Godzilla.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Right on.
I love it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Matt did that.
Nice.
Cool.
So
Excellent.
yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I'll pass it on down to John because I know that you always have epic box days. Everybody, I wish I could have your box days.
Me too.
No.
I would just like toys coming to my house every day.
No, I don't have anything much this much.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
believe
buy
it.
Atis, but
I don't
it's
believe
great
it.
I have a few things, but nothing deep. It's great to be here with you all. You know, Kyle in Japan, Leslie was a blast last week. David and Christine, a pleasure. And everyone that's with us, thank you. And I have some special guests, a little extended family with us today. My sister-in-law, Novita, and my brother Joel, her husband, is on. My brother Mark may not have made it.
Outstanding.
It was a family affair. The weather's getting nicer a little bit. The sun is out a little bit longer, you know, so that makes for nice trips. I went to House of Fun today, and and picked up a few things. I'll just share these quickly and won't hold us long.
A few
I did get something I always wanted. Now, this is something, it's just odd, but I finally found one. not in a great condition, but in the box. this is the old double view Godzilla. It's like a pocket. Yeah, with Godzilla. Yes. I always wanted this.
Oh, no way.
Elusive, but I found one, relatively cheap, but still in the package. I might try to crack it. I don't know. And if I can get to the film, digitize and see what it looks like. But I don't think that'll happen.
Well, that would be good.
Yeah,
maybe
I hope
find
everybody.
one.
That's it. I usually try to get two of. Yeah. I have been doing some interesting things with film lately, and that's coming. Carl, I got something for you. I hope everyone got finally their Rodan.
I need to get him.
You have to. If you never got the Mattel Rodan, now you can at least. This was so wonderfully made. It's like nobody's.
It looks exactly like the original.
It really did, down to the eyes, everything. Along with the Super 7 Godzilla.
Oh my god!
I, for one, am so excited to see the variants of this come out. Honestly.
Yeah.
Glowy.
That could be very.
And that's also I'm holding off until San Diego Comic-Con time because I think they're doing a box version.
So maybe I'll get a different one, but I definitely want to get one.
Couple other items. I'm kind of fleshing out my Asahi Sonorama collection. I finally got the Ebra. Yes. I was doing a deep dive on the Yalen, and they have some interesting little things in here I got to glean out. But the Sono sheet is in here, great condition, $25. You can't leave that. Buy and get you right. And then this other Son of Godzilla.
Wait, these were on Bai? There was a whole bunch of good stuff on Mandarake too recently.
I got to check that out. I only got to like 10 pages this morning on Mandarake. I got to go back and work that out.
Only 10 pages.
Read something for me. Now, this is interesting. I always wanted this magazine, and I found one that has a Godzilla, like a short Godzilla article in it about who's the best kaiju. This is an old Carl. You will appreciate this. And there's a famous one that I wish I could get, but I don't think that would be probably thousands of dollars to have that one. This is a copy of the April 2nd, 1967, the Mainichi Graphic magazine. And if you know, there's one with, this, and inside is a nice spread with Godzilla and Kong and Mothra. It's pretty dope. Like, who's the best kaiju?
John, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
It's that old 60s smell.
That vintage.
Are you going to be scanning that?
Yes.
Send me any of the ads that you like the design style from that time. We'll work it in here.
Yes, coming soon. This is not a magazine, but another little artifact. If I see it, I got to get it. This is from 1971. It's a newspaper clipping of the Toho Matsuri release of Destroy All Monsters. Can you see them?
Oh, look at that!
Cool.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
How do you find these things?
You got to look at those cracks and crevices. And lastly, Leslie, this I got today, and this is a little different. This is not Godzilla, but I saw it, and it's the nostalgia, and we have another edition in the Shin universe coming. So I said, I do have a small little Kamen Rider collection going. There's a Poppy. Yeah. I'll build up my little. I have a nice little Ultraman collection and things. I'll just build this up along with those soft sofa bees. But other than that, that's all I got. Yeah, yes, exactly. Because Shin Kamen Rider should be coming soon. So,
nice.
Get some installments.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes. And so back to our controller in Japan. Oh,
what's a controller?
Well, hey guys, thanks. Let me actually start things off by saying there are some things that I'm going to share on screen here. But I have the first thing I had got was actually not something I brought with me to Japan. I did pick up the Shin Ultraman, essentially the art of book which was pretty cheap. It was only like maybe $20.
Oh,
And
nice.
Wow.
it's not nearly as big as any. It's not like the Shin Godzilla book, which is like this thick and like this big, and you need a special shelf to hold it. It's a regular like MOOC style book, and it's definitely got like everything that I want in an art of book. It's got designs for all the monsters in it, all the aliens in it, and even Science Patrol stuff. So. Thumbs up to that. Sorry, I can't show it on screen right now, but that ties into the Kaiju Cast Shin Ultraman Daikaiju discussion that I did at the end of the month last month.
That's right.
With
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
my co-host Gretchen, and then we also had David join as an Ultra fan, and we also had Kevin Derendorf on, who was able to lend a little more credence to some of the information about who was in the movie and all that stuff. It was a ton of fun. Plus, I really enjoyed the movie. And that was last month. Now let's fast forward to this month, where of course I have been in Japan since February 10th.
Wow!
I'll just very quickly say that I'm here because I ran a group trip, the very first Collect All Monsters Monster Collector Invasion, I think, and so that was 7 people that flexed sometimes to 8, sometimes to 9 at certain times. And it was a ton of fun. I'm just going to quickly do a little screen share here to show.
I loved all you guys' pictures.
Oh, thank you. I have to shout out to my group. Some of them are watching right now. I know I saw Robert watching, saw AJ watching, Helmy's watching too. Who knows if any of those other guys are even awake right now because they should have crazy jet lag. But when we got there, we got approached by a TV show called What Are You Doing in Japan? And I specifically was like, when I get to Japan, I usually don't want anything to do with these people because, you've been on a flight for 10 plus hours and they come right up in your face with the camera. But I said, these guys, I want to give them a memorable trip, so let's try and give the TV crew some good TV. And they were so impressed with us that they actually wanted to come to Wonder Festival with us. So they joined us the very first day. They went to Wonder Festival with us, and then they followed me around.
That's awesome.
It was they were really interested in us. They were with us pretty much all day long at Wonder Festival, and even so much that Helmy helped everybody get back to the. They helped everybody else get back to the hotel, and the TV crew was like, "We just want to interview you in front of the Wonder Festival sign for a few minutes," and like I had to show up later.
That's great.
But it was good. It was a ton of fun. Really, so much fun, and that's where I've been for a little while. Now let me get into some more things. If anyone watched it while I was here, there was actually a stream that I did with AJ. Did you guys watch that? I know you did. Some of you did.
I watched it.
So this is a crappy video, unfortunately, but that's what happens when you upload from a hotel room. AJ is part of Spiral Toys, which is a subsidiary of Spiral, the big gigantic statue company, and they just are starting to release figures. And I'm really happy that I have, because it was gifted, this wonderful figure by AJ and Spiral Toy. Essentially, everybody on the trip got one. We all got we all got a 2019 figure. So I'm going to show off a couple things with that real quick.
I love it.
Was it a particular network? It was the hotel Wi-Fi. So this is the here, let me do this real quick. Right? Yeah. This is the header card for the Spiral figure. And here, this is Matt Frank's artwork. Obviously, you see his name there. But hey, guys, look at this Spiral Toy logo right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow,
right. Cover your face, John.
Wow.
I love how many like our friends and like were involved in this. Like this is so special.
So John did the graphics for this. He did the Spiral Toy logos on here, which are wonderful, sir. Great
Nice
job.
John.
So awesome header card, and of course this is the figure itself, which glows like crazy.
Beautiful.
Like seriously, this thing
Wow.
I had it on my like desk in my hotel room, and I would like wake up maybe like an hour or two after I went to bed, and it was still glowing. So
Wow.
great job on this, guys. I really can't wait to see the rest of the stuff. They had some glitters on, as we talked about on the stream. They had glitters on display at DCon, and they've got plans for more Sofubi colorways. Not to mention a whole bunch of actual kaiju. So please make sure you keep an eye on the Spiral Toys stuff, just because it's going to be pretty lit, I would say, because I'm excited for some of the releases myself. And in addition to that, because Masami Yamada sculpted that 2019
He's
figure,
awesome. He's the master.
he hooked us up with just some extra stuff. He gave everybody a packet of photos,
Nice.
which are production still images that you
Oh,
would
that
use
is
if you were
Oh, wow.
making
Yeah.
figures or something.
Oh my God.
Oh,
That's
look
right.
at that.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay,
Wow.
that's cool.
oh, your
Wait,
mother's
no,
awesome.
That's
upside down,
awesome.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
super cool little spread. So
Yeah.
each one of us got a packet of photos with that too, which was pretty rad.
Yeah, man.
That's
I will
awesome.
move along to since I'm looking at paper goods here. Here's another thing that I did. I went to the Godzilla store with everybody, and I sat back and I'm like, I'm not gonna get anything. I'm gonna be moving here. There's no need for me to get a bunch of stuff. But then I was like, stickers would fit into my bag really well.
yeah.
So I loaded up on Godzilla store stickers,
Oh,
which
dope.
was real fun.
Yes.
Oh, this is actually the they gave us a sticker for the What Are You Doing in Japan
Oh, that's
show.
cool.
So
cool.
this is the logo for that show.
Right.
Why did you come to Japan? I can never get the name of it right.
Oh,
Did they say when that was
Anyway.
gonna air?
Yeah, that's gonna air. They told us it's gonna air in April.
Oh, neat.
Oh.
So they got a lot of footage to come through, and also they are going to hook me up with a digital copy, so I should
Nice.
be able
We
to
get see some of it, yeah.
show it off in
Good.
some way.
okay.
It'd be hard to get. That's great.
Yeah,
Why did you come
hopefully
to
it's
Japan?
good. Yeah, hopefully it's going to be good and not going to make me look like a Baka Gaijin.
You should have said, Kyle, why did you come to Japan? You should have said, I came for the food and stayed for the toys. Wouldn't that be funny? Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
And then at the we went to the Seibuin amusement park where they have Godzilla the ride,
Paper.
and so
Oh,
the
cool.
Seibuin amusement park is basically sort of like a Showa era themed amusement park. It doesn't have a
Oh,
lot
I
of
would
stuff
love
on it,
that. I
like
would
to
love
do,
that.
but they've got like a strip of like a reproduction of a Showa era Dori, street.
I
So
would
they've got
love that. Oh, my
shops
God.
lining up.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Wow.
It is really cool. And then they had this like Showa era style newspaper that they gave away.
Awesome.
I'll talk about that another time, but it was super fun. Really good time. Let's go back to the toys, because I did go to Wonder Festival and I did buy some stuff. I'll start with the non-kaiju related large size Chochin Obake yokai figure,
love it.
which
Love it.
I can't actually tell you who made this, but it was originally by Sunguts, and now they have the smaller ones, which are only about this big comparatively. So this is a much larger version of that. I love it,
I think that's
and I
great.
didn't even know I wanted it until I saw it. And lucky for me, it was
That
still in
happens
stock.
sometimes, yeah.
And speaking of things that were in stock, and we talked earlier before the broadcast started about Wonder Festival and people running into Wonder Festival and like making a beeline for what they wanted, and so I made a beeline for the Charactix table
Yes.
because I wanted
Yes.
to get
Tank.
my
You
hands
gotta
Oh my
get
gosh,
tank.
I'm so
Gotta
glad
get me
you
a
got
tank.
one. Is that the glitter one?
And
Oh no, the glitter one.
no,
is the
no,
one.
this is not glitter. This is just solid colors, but
Ah.
it's like a
Awesome,
purple
though.
tank,
Oh my
green
gosh,
goji.
I love those things.
I'm gonna wait to take them out till I'm home. But since I was there and at the table, I was like, should probably get something to fight this tank with. So these guys
Oh,
did.
okay.
So,
Oh my gosh.
John, there's the Mecha Godzilla for you.
Oh yes.
Oh man.
Godzilla beat Godzilla to
That
death.
looks so
I love
good.
it.
What
Oh,
color
it's
is the tank?
fierce.
Oh, that's pretty.
I love the black and
The
silver.
tank is
Ooh.
gray vinyl, and I think Mechagodzilla is gray vinyl too, but he's been painted, so he might be a darker color.
Nice.
Anyway, I love those things.
I
I'm
love
super
those
happy
Yeah,
to finally
those-
I
have
gotta
oh my
get
gosh,
a
I'm so
tank
glad you got
someday.
both of them.
Yes.
David,
David
you
needs a
do.
tank.
David needs a tank.
Yes, he does.
Next up, going to be talking about this in a few minutes. This is not for me, but I'm showing it off anyway. This is for Monster Lou. I picked up the Crystal Hazawa Gumi
Oh,
for
pretty.
Lou.
Classic. Looks like a piece
Beautiful.
of
The
crystal.
problem with picking things up for people at Wonder Festival, and I'll talk about this in my new segment a little bit, is is that basically you know it's like, hey, where do you go in this situation? Well, first you have to go way over here, and then to go
Oh,
get
no.
Leslie's kit, I got to go way over here, and then oh no, I want to go back and get the Hazawa Gumi, and it's like whoa down here. It's like really quite. They don't make it convenient to what you particularly want. So
So they don't have
it
all
was.
like the Fubi in one section?
Oh hell no,
Like-
no
Oh,
way.
It's
Spread
all
over.
No.
it's all over the place.
It's exhausting.
And I think a lot of people know that Max Toy this time around had a ton of like little Godzilla figures. They had this amazing
Yeah, he did.
spread of releases. It was crazy. And so basically the Max Toy line was so long that I think it was one of our group waited like almost 2 hours and wasn't able to really get everything he wanted. So
man.
No, I
It's-
saw his
yeah, oh yeah,
video
yeah.
running. People,
It's insane.
Like, oh my gosh.
I wanted that Shin Gomez. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't for
Oh,
sale.
yeah.
That was only on
Oh,
display.
okay.
Oh.
Good.
So that'll actually be. I talked to Mark. Mark, when I talked about we went to the Godzilla store, there's a group. Mark Nagata was there with his family, and so I got
Oh,
to meet his
nice.
wife and
Awesome.
Max,
Oh, that's awesome.
and we
Aw.
chatted for a bit. But yeah, Mark
Nice
said
guy.
that that's going to be for sale. That actually will, I think, get a U.S. release. So just
Oh, nice.
the deal with Mark's releases is you should sign up for his newsletter. That is the key. If you
Get
want to
alerts,
get
get
a
alerts, yeah.
release from Max Toy here in the States, sign up for his newsletter. You'll get early access. And for something like Shin Gomez, it might sell out really fast, but
Yeah.
because it's an obscure figure, maybe it won't. But don't count on it not selling
Oh,
out
no,
because
no,
pretty much
no.
everything he sells
I just want it.
sells
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
to know. Good to know.
Let's continue because I don't have any more Wonder Festival buys, but I do have. David, you wanted me to show this off, right?
I sure do.
Okay, so
Indeed.
speaking
betcha.
going back to the requests, people asking you to pick stuff up. One thing I can't show is a gigantic, massive, very heavy, very large 1984 Godzilla kit, which is on its
Oh,
way
God.
to Marcellus Winters right now for
What?
Leslie.
Wow.
This guy
Oh,
right
that's
here.
right.
Man, that
Oh my
is
gosh.
amazing.
Baller status, Leslie.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was what Leslie requested, so I was happy to get that for Leslie since I was
Appreciate it.
able
Thank
to.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. And I asked David, I was like, hey, is there anything at Wonder Festival that you're looking for? And he goes, no, I'm not looking for anything from Wonder Festival, but I tell you what, I'm trying to beef up the vintage stuff. So if you see this very particular figure,
Very particular.
and I was like, okay, sure. And I wasn't even looking for this thing.
No
I was
way.
actually
Oh, you weren't, huh?
hear me out, bro.
No.
I have this. I bought this thing called a DJI Pocket 2. It's basically like a small gimbal camera that's very small, and you just hold it like this, and the little head pivots back and forth, and it makes for really great footage. You're going to see some in a little while from Wonder Festival. I was filming in Nakano Broadway in the very the big
Oh,
the big one right where you go up the stairs and Tetsuki
Yes,
28's
yes.
in the doorway.
Yes.
That's the
Literally
one.
talking to Robert as I was doing it too. Robert was sort of sitting in front of me, and I'm like passing the camera down this one case, and I get all the way to the bottom. I go, "You have got to be kidding me!
Oh.
I think that's the
That's
figure
awesome.
that David wants."
Mhm.
So I pulled out my phone. I double checked everything, and sure enough, here he is.
Yay!
Oh,
Oh,
That's
Randall.
Look at that
Perfect.
condition of him.
And specifically,
Wow.
it's got the tail bend at the right
It's
area.
got that bent
Nice.
tail. The other one has a
Yeah.
straight tail. That's the only way to
Yes.
tell
Yes.
because it's only.
So there you go.
Wow.
Thank you so much,
Beautiful.
Kyle. I'm so grateful for
Oh,
that.
I'm
Really
again,
appreciate it.
as I said before when I called you, I'm just so stoked that this literally was sitting right in front of
Me
me.
too.
It
What a
reminded
story to
me
go
of
with
when
it.
I was in when I came to Japan in 2013, and you were like, "Hey, by the way, when I was there 2 years ago, there was a mommy figure from M1," and I went back to the store and was able to get it for you that same
Yep.
time.
And,
So
and here
the legacy
she is.
continues.
Thank you so much. I am
great.
so grateful again. That's the last.
Welcome.
I have all of the Popies in that set. That's the last one I was
Nice.
missing. The last
Yes.
component. So thank you so much. Yes.
Classic
You're
collection.
welcome.
Awesome.
Wow, this segment has been going on a long time, so I'm
Yeah.
going to show off my last item, which we went to go see Eiji Kaminaga from Marusan, who
Oh, I know what's
graciously let us into his office and showed us all this killer vintage stuff. But I showed this off as the news item for myself last month, and now I've got it. This is the
Oh my god.
this is the glow in the dark version.
Wow.
But this thing is massive.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It's gonna be like my parrot sitting on my shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really stunning. Really stunning. Love it so much.
That's amazing.
Okay. I think that's it. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I don't want to say. I don't want to do anything else. We want to keep the show moving. So I will go ahead and say thank you so much to everybody for sharing what your box days were. Thanks to all 73 people who are watching right now on Facebook and YouTube. We all appreciate it very much. And yeah, and now I think we're gonna do a question from John.
No, I wanted to share one more thing, and you reminded me of it, and I've been meaning to share it. You may have shared this before. It's a CD, but it's kind of special. Olympus 32 is their name, and I meant to share this. They they do Ifukube's music. It's an a cappella group, and they did.
That group is actually called the Weird Bukibisha Secret Society.
Wow.
Yes. And
What the hell?
And then I thought when I got this, like, Kyle might have this already or something. That's what you made me think of this. But
I
this
don't think I have that one specifically.
Where'd you get that?
This is the Kagura. They have, the whole from Shodai Godzilla from '54 when they're the ritual.
Yes.
On Odo Island.
The exorcism ritual, right?
I highly recommend. It's like $30, but well worth it. They have like 10 CDs. They did Magma Taishi, Ultraman, Ultra 7, and a number of Godzilla acapella male group. Awesome.
I love it.
I just wanted to
I
mention.
know Jonathan
Kyle.
Portman's listening.
Yeah, you should get it. Definitely, Jonathan. Sorry about that, but Kyle, you made me.
I love that group.
I want that too.
I absolutely
Yes.
adore that group.
Yes.
I love that exorcism ritual. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Thank you. I got that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Indeed.
All right. Do we want to do a chat room check-in, Leslie?
I'm ready when you
Is
are.
it time? I'm ready when you are. Oh, also shout out to Jonathan Portman producing once again because he did such a great job last time.
Yeah.
Oh
No, Jonathan, come on.
Good, Jonathan.
All right.
All right, Jonathan, try and keep up. That's the only thing I can say. All right. All right, we got Black Dolls Matter. That's your brother, right, John?
Hey, that's my brother Mark. He joined us. Hey, bro, I got this family affair.
All right,
thanks, bro.
Nice.
All right, we got Tanner. We got Kaiju Battle. We got Larry Latham. Joe Ruffin.
That's my
who's
brother
that again?
Joe.
Your brother
That's my
Joe.
brother Joe.
Nice.
What's up, Joel?
Okay.
Thanks,
Miss
bro.
Miss Novetta Ruffin.
That's
Wow.
Novita. Yes, that's family. My
Novita.
sister-in-law.
The whole Ruffin family's in the
All the
house.
I
Ruffins
know.
are here.
It's crazy.
All right.
It's a good family.
All right. And let's see. Mark Rodriguez, Michael Hang, Joey Chapman. Helmy, what's going on, Helmy?
Oh, man.
Mommy.
Greg Coggin.
Helmy's watching live from Japan still. He's still here.
Oh, really? Awesome. Come on, help me.
All right.
Yeah.
My beautiful wife, Sandra. What's up, babe?
Sandra.
Solis,
Nice
Robert
Sandra.
Wire. Robert Wire. Got a little train
Robert.
1090. Thirsty Toys. Eric Stope. The Fanciest of Cats. Let's see who else. Nathaniel Plummer. Eric Strong. Kaiju Live. What's up, AJ?
AJ.
Jedi Grand Bell. Danny Damana. What's going on, man? Brady M. DeAndre. Chuck Murdoch. Let's see who else. Let's see. Scrolling. Chris Hill. What's up, Chris? Let's see. Wonder Disc World 97. Michael Eberl. Giuseppe. What's up, Giuseppe?
What's up, Giuseppe?
What's up, Giuseppe? Good to see you, man.
Love him.
Oh,
Yeah, what's going
I
on?
have something to
Charles?
show you next show.
Charles Murdich.
Yep. Let's see. Tim Alton. Let's see. Who else? Eric Strong. Liam Foley. What's up, Liam? Always
What's up,
here.
Sergio?
Let's see.
Giuseppe.
And that's all I can see for right
We
now.
got a full house today.
Yeah,
thank
full
you.
house.
That's Jamie
Thank you.
Davies right there, Jumbo Mills. What up, dude?
Baby.
Oh, Gonzalo's here. Greg.
Oh,
Barrett.
Gonzalo hung out with us for a bit too.
Awesome.
Nice.
I saw that.
And let's see, James Thompson, Jordan Leitner.
Canadian James #1. Hang on a second.
What's up, Jordan?
James Thompson, aka Canadian James. We actually had a second Canadian James on this trip. Can you believe it?
Oh wow. So yeah, that's all I can see. Lady Kyle's in the chat. Lady Kyle's in there.
Well,
What?
I'll be darned.
Cute.
Family.
Lady Kyle's lurking. What's up, wifey?
Yeah, so a lot of people here to support Collect All Monsters. Thank y'all so much. Give y'all a round of applause.
Thanks, guys.
You know?
Right on. Well, I think this is probably the best time for us to get moving into our news. And as always, we celebrate this wide array of kaiju collectible news by choosing one particular item that we individually find fascinating, interesting, or something we want to buy that was announced, released, or talked about. And so we're going to talk about that right now. I'll kick things over to Leslie because I got to set up a video for you.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, S Plus was there at Winterfest, as they always are. I have to say that even though what I'm about to talk about is super awesome, there wasn't really much going on with X Plus this year. It's like a stark contrast from last year. Remember when the Favorite Sculptors Line Ever set was announced and the King Geezer 2019 was announced. Everybody was buzzing about that, as well as the various Death Reels, Jet Jaguar, Megalon. But this year, even though there was some things there, the buzz wasn't as strong. But still, the stuff that they did show was absolutely amazing. And what I'm about to talk about is, of course, you know me, I love the bigger size stuff. And S Plus did not disappoint when it comes to Gigantics. And they unveiled the newest Gigantic that they're going to bring forth, hopefully sometime this year, with the X Plus Gigantic series, 2002 Godzilla from Godzilla X.
Oh my gosh,
Godzilla
that pose.
X, Mecha Godzilla, not Against, because I don't like that title.
Yeah,
It
this
sucks. I hate it. It's Godzilla X, Mecha Godzilla.
Yes.
And you know
Nice.
what? I started thinking about this. I was like, when was the last time? Because we didn't get like a brand new Gigantic of Godzilla last year, right? I think last year they reissued the 89. They reissued Shin. They reissued Mecha Godzilla in that silvery paint scheme. I think the last time we got a Gigantic of Godzilla himself, a brand spanking new one, was the Favorite Sculptors Line 54. And that came out like June of 2021.
Yeah, that was a
Right?
while back. Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
No.
He came out June 2021. So this is like the
Oh my
first
gosh.
gigantic of Godzilla himself that we've had since, again, 2021. Now, he's not going to be the next gigantic that we'll get from X Plus, because don't forget, next month, supposedly, the gigantic Monsterverse Kong is coming out. So,
That's right.
So this guy's hopefully will come sometime this year. Don't know when. Again, this it's just a prototype. Even though there's some people that have been kind of like not really impressed with the prototype, and that's understandable. Some people think he's very super chunky. Some people are ecstatic about the design. But I think once you see this guy painted, I think it's going to be really, really cool. We don't know what the rig option is going to be, although we did see pictures of the model with his mouth closed and his mouth open. So that might be like the rig option where you can alternate between the two jaws, whatever. But it's going to be real interesting if that thing does drop this year. There's a certain other gigantic coming from Spiral Studios from the Millennium series. And that's the GMK. So it's going to be interesting to see which company is going to have the best gigantic Godzilla from the Millennium series by the end of the year.
I smell a show. I smell a special show.
But think about it. This is going to be like the year of gigantics. You got the X Plus Gigant 2002. You got the Spiral Studios Burning Godzilla 2019. The GMK, the XM Studios Space Godzilla, the Prime One stuff.
And that's just
right.
Oh my gosh.
The Omega B. Nope, ain't doing that one.
Hey,
that's why we love Leslie.
I ain't doing that one. But nah, seriously, this is going to be a great gigantic 2002 Godzilla. Something different, something different. And it's nice that they're going back to the Millennium series with the gigantic Godzilla. So it's going to be interesting to see what that thing will look like, what the price point is going to be, when it's going to drop. Hopefully it'll drop before the year is out. But that was one of the cool things about one of the Fast Far as S Plus is concerned. And that's all I want to talk about in my segment. So I'm going to kick it over to my main man in Seattle, Washington, David Eric Dopko. What you want to talk about, my friend?
Hey, well, first of all, I want to say that I'm really intrigued about that gigantic Kiryu Goji. I think it's going to look pretty good, but I think once we see the paint job, that's going to be the deciding factor for a lot of us, right?
Yeah.
If they nail it with the paint job, because I know Kyle saw it in person and he thought it wasn't super impressive in person. Again, it's just the prototype, and things can change. But when he did see it in person, and I really value someone's opinion who sees it in person. So I don't know. I
heard it's going to have an open mouth version too, and I think that the open mouth might change my mind. But it was something about the sort of like the
static
pose, sort of static, but less static and more like maybe he's about to blast, and like that's why he's sort of like scrunched up a little bit.
Almost looking back a little bit. Yeah. No, I
sure.
don't have room for him anyway, so I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, I don't know. There's no way.
David.
What's that?
So you can always make room.
I thought you said there's always the bathroom. I'm like, well, yeah, there is the bathroom. I can go in there. Sorry. No, I am intrigued by that figure, and I didn't know it was gigantic when I first saw it. I thought it was just a model kit or something. And I'm like, no, dude, that's gigantic. I'm like, what? Cool.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm here to talk about. My item is actually also X Plus, and this is something that a lot of us older sort of horror fans are really into. Those of us who've been around and used to collect the old Aurora model kits and that kind of thing. So of course I'm talking about last week's Wonderfest release reveal of the Revenge of the Creature. Now, for those of you who don't know, another creature. It's not just another creature. This is a totally different suit from the first Creature from the Black Lagoon. The eyes are bigger. There's actually a different actor playing the monster. It's not Ben Chapman. His name is Tom Hennessy, that plays the land creature in Revenge of the Creature. Rico Browning plays the swimming creature in all three films. And yesterday was his birthday. He turned 93. Just
wow.
Interesting information. And I'm so happy he's still with us. And yeah, Giuseppe, you know what I'm talking about. But G. Akamoto and I, we hit it off right off the bat because both of us really love the old Universal films, and we have a lot of conversations about this. And this was a hole missing in a lot of our collections. So I am completely stoked about it. It's going to be in the 1/8 scale, And as you can see, it comes with a really cool base, which depicts him in marine land in his habitat, because the humans captured him and put him on display in Florida. He's got his chains there. And I think it's going to be sort of like this. I can't wait to see the box. A release that's an all plastic assembly kit. I think it's actually going to be styrene. I'm not really sure if it's going to be like soft vinyl. I think it's going to be styrene, but I don't know for sure. Hopefully we'll find out soon. And again, we haven't seen the box, and we have not seen the release date yet either, or the price point. But usually these are pretty affordable. And I'm just so stoked. It's kind of selfish because I know a lot of people don't love this. It's not really a Japanese monster, but this monster inspired a lot of creativity for Japanese films. I mean, Ragon is basically a take on the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Okay.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
There's that. I just think it's great. And she's also doing a Bela Lugosi Dracula. They had an unpainted prototype of that too, which is probably in the same scale, 1/8. But I'm really, really excited for this. And I know there's a few of us who are really stoked for this kit. So I can't wait to get it. I'll show it to you guys when I build it and paint it. And yeah, I'm stoked. And thanks so much, G, for thinking of us fans and filling in this hole in our collection. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm very excited to see this. And Christine, what did you find interesting and choose for your news item? Something from Wonderfest, maybe?
Yes, mine is also from Wonderfest, and actually Kyle just showed it off not too long ago in the show and tell. Yes, but it is the Hazawagumi 54. So it's not this particular one, but they had, like, I love Hazawagumis. They are, I think, really affordable. They're cute. They're small. Like, you can fit a lot of them on the shelf. But they had this beautiful clear with glitter 54 that was just sold at Wonderfest. So lucky Lou, she got one, and I'm thinking like, oh, I really love like clear and glitter translucent figures, and I think this is just very beautiful. And we'll have to post the link to his blog, because his Zawagumi has like a blog that he writes when he creates like all of his figures, and he usually has like really cool backstories of like why he did certain colorways and stuff. But I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, I love this bronze one that I have.
That's what I have, bronze. There he is.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, like I'm trying to keep away from getting multiple of the same because I'm running out of space. But this one's very tempting, so I don't know if maybe I'll be selling this one to get that
Super
one,
pretty.
or maybe I'll just
Super pretty.
buy it anyways. But yeah, I mean, his glitter figures are really beautiful. And so yeah, this one was at Wonderfest. He usually has, well, I'm hoping, I know he has a 64. I'm hoping for like a cool colorway of that soon. But I mean, if you're interested in this one, I'm sure they'll be on Mandarake, they'll be on Bai. Just lay off them for a bit until I get mine first, okay?
Fair enough.
I just want to get one. Just let me get one first, and then y'all can go after it.
I think the 54 is the best Hazawagumi sculpt in the entire line.
It's
something about it. It's pretty perfect. The proportions, and it really looks, it captures the 54 Shodai design. Some of the other ones are a little, I'm not quite sure, but this one, any color or variant, they just look so great. I think.
I think so too. I think he really captured the face very well in this.
Yeah.
Sculpt.
The angle.
You'll find one, Christine. You'll get one.
Oh, I'm already watching a couple, so just leave me alone for the next 18 hours. Anything you see on Bai, just leave it alone.
Do your Jedi mind trick. You don't want
right? Is it not the toys you're looking for?
These are not the toys you're looking for. Perfection.
So, John, what did you pick for your news item?
Yeah, I think what stole the show from the X Plus table needs to be mentioned. But let me say, I'm just speculating. You know, it wasn't overwhelming what was, presented necessarily as we've seen in the past. But I can only imagine as we prepare for Godzilla Day this year, what's coming, what have coming with the new movie. I mean, I'm just can only imagine what they're preparing for now. I'm just saying. This is the time it's happening.
That's why Biatus is a good idea for all of us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Can only speculate. I think what stole the show, what got like this is it. And now, I know we didn't talk about, well, Leslie, you had shared a figure, I could talk about, but this one I think this might be my favorite Heisei X Plus figure. The Godzilla 1992.
Oh
Look
my
at
gosh.
it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
amazing.
I love that pose.
He got overlooked
It's
a lot
amazing.
because everything else was so big. He got
I
overlooked.
love that pose.
Yes. I mean, it looks perfect. And then there's another shot. He's with Mothra. And it's like, this is it.
Yes, that's
I
right.
can't
I've
wait
seen
to
that
shoot
one.
this. I can't wait to see it in color.
Beautiful.
It's awesome. Sorry, y'all. I think that stole the
It's
show
like a
for me.
perfect
Sorry, that's
set right
great.
there. Oh my god.
Yes,
John,
that
do you know if
Ultraman
that's
is
from a model
perfect,
kit?
too.
Is that an original sculpt or is it from a model kit? I don't recognize it.
I have no idea. I haven't seen it before. I thought that Sakai had maybe it's a it's a 93 that Sakai has done that was floating around. I don't know if that's coming eventually, but this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And if I can't wait for that to roll out. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute.
I
Hold
see
on.
him painted up.
Yeah.
You think
Look
this
at it.
stole the show over Destroyer? Like seriously?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
seriously.
think that
I mean,
over Destroyer?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I was all about Destroyer.
I'm not going to talk about that because I mean, Destroyer was awesome.
It maybe stole John's show.
It's my yeah, because I just can't wait. I couldn't wait to shoot that. I mean, I'm like, oh, that angle is so
Oh my
awesome.
gosh,
It is
Yeah,
pretty.
you're
It
right,
is
you're
pretty.
With
right.
Mothra in the
That
background.
pose is pretty great. It's
Yes.
dynamic yet it's still museum pose. It's like both going on at the
Oh,
same
I can't
time.
wait to see that.
And I forgot
Yes.
about the damn Ultraman statues. Those are beautiful.
Yeah,
too.
look,
Yeah.
I know.
Ultraman holding the
Really?
VTOL.
Holding the VTOL, Kyle. How did that look in person? Is that amazing?
Really good. Really
Oh,
good.
What's the scale of that? I couldn't tell.
It was large. I would say if it was in anything standard, it was either 30 centimeter or FSL, honestly,
Okay,
because
cool.
it was. At some point, I'll be reviewing the footage and stuff to see
Oh,
how
good.
big
We can
that
check it out.
was.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
But they got it right. Just looking at the profile, everything is great about this. So
It's beautiful.
Mhm.
that
I
stole the show
I
for me.
overlooked it. I overlooked it.
It kind of got, it's just kind of in the back. I just can't. I look forward to that.
You know what?
And
It
that's
does
the-
look. It does
uh-huh.
look good. It does look good, but in my opinion, I thought the adult Bachelor should have gotten an appearance before he did. That's just my opinion.
Okay, I can. Yes, we do need a bat. Yes. You're right.
I'm
You're
sure
right,
we'll
Liz.
get adult Bachelor at some point.
It's got to be coming. I mean, basically, they're lining up all of the pieces in that chessboard.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to see everything. I mean, just do a Mega Gearus for God's sake. It's the same thing, pretty much, right?
Rose Violante.
You ain't lying.
I need my Rose Violante.
Hashtag bad fan.
Mega Gearus. With that said,
Passing it back to you.
All right. So basically, what I wanted to do is instead of focusing on a specific thing from Wonder Festival, one of the members of our group, I think it was Jonathan Crucetti, but please don't quote me on that because I don't have the page up in front of me. It's 9 a.m. here. So he was interested in the mechanics of Wonder Festival, as in, if you are a fan who wants to go to Wonder Festival, how do you do it? Do you get to just walk in the door? And I was like, that's a really cool idea. Let me actually talk about my experience as a first-timer going to Wonder Festival just very quickly. So tickets. This is the ticket to Wonder Festival. The ticket to Wonder Festival costs 2,500 yen. And what you have to do is you have to order them ahead of time if you want to line up with everybody going in at 10 a.m. The way they arrange things, this is going to be really difficult to see, but basically they have sections that they line people up in. So you have a number and you have a time and you have a letter on your ticket, and that tells you where to go. This was new this time. So you also, if you're pre-ordering tickets, you have a limit on how many you can get. And I don't know if you guys heard me say this earlier, my group had 7 people in it. My travel group had 7 people, including myself, and they had a limit of 4. So we had to do 2 groups, a group of 4 and a group of 3, which means that the group couldn't be together. which is all good. But it also meant that one group got in before the other group. So, like this one, 9:15 meant that I had to wait until 9:15, and they called F, and then we could go line up. The previous group had 8:45, and it was I don't know, D or something like that. We essentially, you line up in sort of like cattle stall style, but huge cattle stalls. Here, let me just do this.
Oh, that one picture is
share that one picture again.
I'd be like claustrophobic.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that claustrophobic, and I have to say, here you go. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So, number one,
my gosh.
as you guys know, I'm very conscious about wearing a mask, and I'm very conscious that I think it's safe. So, when I go to Japan, one of the things I like is that Japan is all about the mask culture. And even, masks are a pain in the butt to wear, but they keep you safe, they keep everybody else safe. And so for that, everybody is wearing a mask. And that's a general statement about the entirety of Japan. Like, sure, one or two people here and there, but the overwhelming worldview when I look out is that the only people that aren't wearing masks are foreigners. So, so this is what it looked like when I was lining up at Wonder Festival, and it was it was interesting, but at the same time, it wasn't anything that I was like super excited about being in line. I do have a good video here from our good friend Helmy, who shot with his 360 camera. He got one of those Insta 360s, and I got
cool.
where is it? This is a video from Helmy going in. So this is everybody making their way in, and
it looks like a wave.
It's a huge amount of people. It is an amazingly large. It's a big venue that holds a big amount of people.
Wow.
Any masks with Godzilla's mouth on it? Nathaniel's asking if anybody had a Godzilla mask, and Helmy did. Helmy had one with the Godzilla mouth on it.
Aww.
We all had some cool masks. Yeah.
Isn't it
What's up,
Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla? G93, wasn't that? I believe it was filmed there. One of the locations.
You know, we talked about that because there were two buildings out there that were very familiar, and I'm guessing that is exactly what that was.
And the stadium is on the other side. That the stadium is on the other side.
Oh, that he destroys. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes. Okay, so the deal is you line up, you get in line, and then once the doors open, they tell everybody to go. And we didn't have anybody like crazy running. Everybody was being very respectful. But it was like group after group after wave is what I should say, of people going in. Once you get into the venue, or once you get right outside the venue, they give you your program, which some people had already downloaded and printed out and had on them, marked up where they wanted to go. But I want to just sort of show you that this here is essentially these are all the halls? Yeah, these are all the halls put together. Here, Jonathan, make me big. So this is how many tables there are.
Oh my god!
Broken up into technically 3 different buildings. And actually, now that I look at this, I think this is missing one of them. But
3 buildings?
It's like 3. Jonathan was saying it looked like a hangar, like a air hangar, and it is kind of like that. But they're all connected. They're connected with a open hallway, which, boy, I tell you, it was warm. And so going into the open hallway that was exposed to the air, it was like,
probably felt really good.
Ah, yes. And then you go right back into the next hall. Anyway, it was a great event, and there was all sorts of stuff happening. But my impression is that unless you are super organized and know exactly where you want to go, or you just don't care and you're just going to wander around, then it's overwhelming almost. So for me, I had like 4 or 5 tables that I was going to hit, and then it was about like just kind of seeing everything. Things do sell out. I think AJ said earlier that if you if you don't get there within the first hour, most of the exclusive stuff is sold out. But everybody is selling stuff. So there's literally hundreds and hundreds of tables worth of stuff. And it's not all tokusatsu stuff. It's not all Japanese stuff. There's all sorts of things being sold. Most of it is model kits. There's a growing number of soft vinyl toys. And honestly, the best part about the entire experience for me was meeting like the makers, being able to meet like Masami Yamada, meeting the guy from Charactix, that kind of stuff. Really was
That's so great.
Made me very happy. And because I did actually have one thing that I wanted to share, because I probably will get this. I probably will cave. CCP had their Shingo mess on display.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
God, I want that.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
It was. We
That
had
was
some
a bad word.
discussions in our travel group about how accurate this is or is not, and I gotta say I didn't have my book with me to compare, but regardless, it was pretty awesome looking. And I'm just saying that with CCP's releases so far, the Gabora and the Naranga, those look incredible, and they have them in multiple different scales. So hopefully we'll get some cool,
Yes.
affordable
Please.
Shingo mess.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't think I have anything else that I wanted to talk about. If anybody has any questions for me about Wonder Festival, I'm happy to answer those later. But I think what we should do now is definitely go into our intermission, give ourselves a nice 2-minute break, and come back and talk about our favorite Kaiju love connections. Okay? Thanks, Jonathan. See you guys in a few.
Godzilla! You can pretend Godzilla turns a mighty castle into a pile of sand.
Go do it, Godzilla!
You control Godzilla's ugly tongue. You can make him stomp, pound his tail, pretending he strikes it all in his way. You can launch Godzilla's claw for the final blow.
We did it!
What will Godzilla do next? It's up to you. Godzilla with a claw that launches, some assembly required, from the Shogun Warrior Collection by Mattel.
あの怪獣は今
スターと呼ばれた青春だった。力の限りの青春だった。時は過ぎゆく、時代は変わる。それでも僕らは生きてゆく。広い社会の片隅でつつましやかに生きてゆく。さあ送ってください、君の傑作写真を。バンダイウルトラ怪獣大変身コンテスト。
求人力がとっても強いナショナル掃除機はやぶさ。どんどんゴミを吸い込む回転治療都市、そしてゴミを袋ごと捨てられるダストパック式。
はやぶさはやぶさ
I love that ad. That classic Hayabusa Tsuburaya directed ad. That's so good. Such good stuff.
Awesome.
Well, hey, you guys. You know, on a night like tonight, we should talk about Kaiju love.
Welcome to the Love Boat.
Yes. Well, we're here. It's as Christine mentioned earlier. It's Valentine's Day, you guys, and it's time to talk about the Kaiju love connections. So, we're trying to make this an easy episode for me since I'm in Japan right now. So, we came up with a light, chatty topic where we've each chosen our top 3 kaiju relationships, or not kaiju relationships in kaiju movies, a little more accurate to say, or kaiju genre relationships, maybe. You can tell I really worked on this ahead of time. Anyway, the the deal is we're going to just basically go for our top 3 in the entirety of the genre, and it's going to be a discussion topic. Feel free to chime in the chat how you feel about the ones we've chosen, and what are some of your favorites as well. Leslie Chambers, I believe you're going first, and we're dialing things not all the way back, but back to the Showa era, right?
Yeah. And again, like what I talked about earlier with the Toho Maniacs, because I've been hearing it a lot as of late, more so in regards to Godzilla vs. Kong when that came out, and how I was vocal, a lot of people were vocal that, yeah, the monster action was great, but the human story was kind of like lacking. And the common response I got for that is like, we don't go to Godzilla movies to see the human story. We go to see the monster. And I so wholeheartedly disagree, because again, there have been some great Godzilla movies that not only have great monster action, but great human stories that leads into the monster action. Monster Zero, Biollante, GMK, Destroyer, Destroy All Monsters, that's just to name a few. So despite what you may think about that, these human stories are very important, because a movie of having Godzilla in every single scene, Godzilla will not be as special. So it's vital that we have these mini stories involving humans and subplots that lead us to monster action, right? And there are some elements of some love stories in these movies. My first love story I want to talk about just a little bit, I'm going to try and breeze through all of them, is, of course, the love story in Terror of Mechagodzilla, the tragic love story, if you will, between Katsura and Ichinose. And again, that's why I love Terror of Mechagodzilla so much as a movie. Is because, again, even though it's part of the 70s genre of films, it's a darker interpretation of what you would think in a 70s film. It basically has Honda written all over it, because Honda came back for this film, right?
That's right.
So not only you have the over-the-top silly monster action, but you got some tragic stuff going on. You got this tragic love story. Again, that's all Honda. So the fact that, you have Ichinose and that Katsura, she's torn between the love of her father, or loyalty to her father, if you will, and now she has a growing love for Ichinose. And to see that tragic end where she ends up dying, basically killing herself, no different than what Serizawa did in 54, right? And just that image, like, it's a bittersweet ending where, of course, it's great to see Godzilla win, defeat Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla, but Ichinose just holding the body of Katsura, of a woman that he really did love. It's tragic, and but it's nice to see love stories like that. But let me just say that Katsura would be the wrong woman if you cheat on her, because you would not want to cheat.
You want to cheat on Cyborg?
He is not the one.
Fellas,
Nope.
Fellas, trust me. You don't want to cheat on your woman, but you don't want to cheat on your woman that has the ability to activate an evil alien cyborg destructive monster. You don't want to do that. So,
wrong time.
But still, that's one of the cool things I love about Terror Mechagodzilla, that little story, that love story with the Ichinose and that Katsura. And it's unfortunate it ends up being what it being, but it's nice to have, that added to a story to make a worthwhile Godzilla movie, in my opinion. And secondly, I'm gonna go to the Ultra series. My favorite Ultra is Ultra 7, the Ultra Warrior behind Ultraman. And of course, I'm talking about Dan, the human alter ego of Ultra 7, and of course Anne, who's part of the Ultra Garrison in the American version, but it's called what? The Terrestrial Defense Force in the Japanese version, right? Right, Kyle? TDF, right?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up more so with the American version, so I'm gonna call it Ultra Garrison. And yes, there's a love story that kind of develops between Dan and Anne. even though there were times during the series where Dan kind of treated her like a younger sister, you know. But when he finally reveals that he's Ultra 7, she was the first and only person he revealed it to, you know. And it was nice to see them develop something, but we didn't see him pursue it, because after he revealed that he was Ultra 7, he fought his final battle and he left for M78 after that. So they really couldn't capitalize on that. So it's kind of tragic, but you knew there was love there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I put Anne in the same category as Lois Lane, and that I think that she is the dumbest person walking the face of this earth. Because, again, kind of like Lois Lane, right?
Harsh.
How could you work with Clark Kent, or how can you work with Dan and not know that he's Ultra 7 or Superman? It's like, you never question at one time, you know, it's funny, how come when Ultra 7 appears, Dan disappears? Or when Ultra 7 disappears, Dan reappears? Like, the thought never crossed your mind. Kind of like Lois Lane. Again, I never bought the fact that this chick could have a crush on Ultra 7 and Superman and work with him and not know that they're the same person. So it's a great love story, but she's still dumb as a box of rocks, in my opinion. Just saying. And the last thing I want to talk about is not really anything pertaining to the humans, but actually pertaining to the kaiju or monsters themselves. And I'm talking about the male and female Rodan from 1956. The final scene where we all know the story. You know, they try to trap the Rodans in a controlled volcanic eruption. So one of the Rodans, whether it's a male one or a female, we don't really know. But one of them succumbs to the explosion, and they fall into the lava pit, at least into the lava explosion of the volcano. And that other Rodan is hovering above all this. And you're probably thinking that Rodan is going to save itself and flee and return to attack Japan, you know, another day. But in a shocking twist, which I didn't see coming when I first saw the movie, that Rodan goes back down into the fire to join his mate, because to them, to that Rodan, I would rather have a horrifying death with you instead of an empty life without you. And if that's not love, then what is that? You know what I mean? So again, in that movie, you go from really being against the Rodans and wanting to see the Rodans destroyed, but it's that one moment at the very end where you you don't know what to feel, but you kind of do feel for the Rodans. So I think that's the epitome of love, that you're willing to die alongside your mate versus living your life without them. That is true love right there, you know. So again, I think that's the epitome of true love when it comes to these monster movies. You know what I'm saying? Or at least more so than in humans. And that's why it will always infuriate me sometimes when I hear some people who don't know anything about these movies always say they're kiddie movies, they're childish movies, they don't have any substance, they don't have anything going on with them. And that is a bold-faced lie. Watch Rodan, and that will prove you wrong. So again, when it comes to love, it's kind of hard to beat that, you know, that male and female Rodan love that they had at the end of the movie.
True, I agree with you there.
I mean, but let me ask y'all, you know, all y'all, my host, even everybody in the chat, I would do it, you know, because I can't live without my wife Sandra. But if your mate was in the same situation, would you save yourself or would you?
Would I burn alive?
Now, of course, your answer is going to have serious repercussions if you answer it the wrong way. So.
Would I?
You know, my wife is watching, so of course I would die. Of course would die.
Okay.
Well, Keith's not watching, but I'd probably be the one to fall in first. So, ask him that question. Knowing me, I'd be the one in there first. Yeah.
But seriously, the next time you watch Rodan, just, you know, it kind of hits home a little bit more with that, because again, it's just hard to see that Rodan fall, and then you see the other one. You know, you think he's going to do one thing, but does the exact opposite, and you're like, wow, that's powerful. Not bad for a goofy, cheesy monster movie from the 50s. All right.
Deep. It's deep.
So that's all I want to talk about in my love segment. So, David, what you got? What you want to talk about?
Well, before I get into mine, you kind of came up with this last one on the fly, and I totally agree. There's Rodan right here. He agrees with me. Or she. I don't know which one that is.
A good movie.
I think that this is one of the rare occasions that the ending of the U.S. version is superior to the Japanese version, because that last monologue, as cheesy as it is, it really hits home the story, and it really makes you emotional, right? And I just love it. I just love it, and I think that's a really great choice. I loved it. And in your Katsura and Ichinose, another reason that that's a special relationship is because you said it's the return of Honda. It's also the return of Ifukube. So each of the characters had a theme, you know. So when the characters have a theme, that just pounds it even more home that, you know, they're in a relationship, and it really, you know, emphasizes the emotional aspect of the film. So again, great choices. So let's get to mine. So I had to go with the most consequential love triangle in kaiju history: Serizawa, Emiko, and Ogata. I mean, you know, talk about human characters and caring about human characters, and human characters that all actually propel the story forward and are integral parts of the story. They need to take lessons from this film, because all of that is true. The human aspect, the human drama is as interesting, if not more interesting, than the monster action, I think, anyway. And that's why I had to choose this. I mean, Emiko Yamane was betrothed to Serizawa as a child. I mean, they were set up. It was an arranged marriage, but she never actually loved him. She loved him as a brother, and she respected him, but she never had that sort of romantic connection. And then she met this dashing young sailor, Ogata, and you know, she was smitten with him in the film. And what's that? The original home wrecker. Oh yeah,
Adrian said the original home wrecker.
Adrian's trying to be Leslie Jr. over here. Okay, stop it. No, but it's a very, very effective triangle that really plays a part in the film. And you know, when Emiko didn't have to say anything to Serizawa. What happened was, when they had that tussle about whether or not he was going to use the oxygen destroyer, when Emiko ran over to Ogata to take care of his wounds, you'd see Serizawa's face. He's just like, oh man, I'm done. It's all that's when it hit home for him that she's not with me, she's with him. And then, of course, he insists on placing the weapon with Ogata, the oxygen destroyer, because it's twofold. He sacrifices himself because he does not want the device to fall into the wrong hands, and he also cannot live. It's not that he can't live. He doesn't want to stand in the way of Emiko's happiness. So
I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have done it.
Heck no, I wouldn't have done it. I would have left for America. Like, God, it is your problem now. I lost my woman and my research. Bye.
Yeah, he was a little bit more noble than that, but that story, even as a little kid watching that story, was just like so emotional for me, and it still holds up to this day. And I don't think anything that has come after it has surpassed that human story, in my opinion. So that's why I had to go with that one. Now, my second choice. Let me take a sip here. My second choice is from King Kong versus Godzilla. It's Fumiko and Fujita. Now, it's a little bit provocative if you think about it, because in the Japanese version, they show her brother going to try to find them, and he finally finds him in her apartment, and they're behind. You can't see what they're doing, and he comes out and he wipes off the lipstick. Oh, that's my son.
Yeah, he's in the kitchen with her. Yeah,
he's making out with her in the kitchen. And that's a little bit
making biscuits.
For Japan. They ain't making biscuits, no. 1962 Japan is a little bit conservative, and that's a pretty provocative scene. And then, of course, her boyfriend's stick is bigger than her brother's, right? I mean, you know, that's the American version. And she gets wind that he might be in trouble. Maybe his plane crashed or his ship sunk, depends on which version you watch, and there's some survivors in Hokkaido, so she immediately jumps on that train to go to Hokkaido, even though Godzilla is coming to Hokkaido. So, and then he gets wind she's doing that. He rushes down in his car to try to save her, which he does, and That's true love right there.
That's a cute scene.
And then, of course, when Kong enters Tokyo, he's like, you have to leave the city. So they're about to go on the train together, but the doors close, and she's on the train by herself. Of course, Kong gets her. And then flash forward to the scene where the army is debating what to do, and he just sees Kong in her hand, and the army's helpless. He's like, Fubago! 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 And that's why they get the idea to use the Faroe Island music and the berry juice to
Mm-hmm.
So it's just looking at him doing that reminded them of the natives praying to Kong and doing that thing. So yeah, so that's a total. One more time. No, I'm not going to do it again. Just not doing it. That's that. That is my second choice, and my third choice. Now this one's going to be interesting. My third choice is from a movie that's not one of my favorite movies, but I'm learning to love it as time goes on. It's, of course, Goro and Hiroshi. And, you got to think, looking at from a modern perspective, it's two handsome young men in a groovy 70s pad with a groovy robot. I mean, it could be a bromance, but maybe it's a little something more. And, I always thought that they may be in a little bit more of a friendship relationship. But then I found something on the internet. I found quite a few things, but I want to read one of them to you guys, if you will indulge me. This person says, the action centers around three and just three guys. They are a pair of friends and the much younger brother of one of them. Much has been written about the obvious gay undertones of this film, what with our main two characters having a special relationship devoid of the usual girlfriends seen in most popcorn monster movies. At first, I didn't believe it, but the more I watch this movie, the more I have to say that they are indeed two gay men. That makes this movie a very progressive effort, especially in a conservative society like Japan. So I am not saying for sure this is what the deal is, and I'm not saying that that's what the director had in mind, but it is fun to watch it with a modern perspective and to see members of your community and yourself reflected on the screen in a show of film. So I'm just having a little fun with this, and I just had to sort of go there. And
there's a lot of agreement in the chat, by the way.
Do any of you agree with me, or am I completely like?
I agree.
I
mean, you know what? Thank you for being bold enough to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's all in good. It's all in good fun, and would it be such a bad thing if they were? I mean, it's not a terrible thing if they were.
Absolutely not.
And
it's a good thing.
And it made me. It breathed new life into this film for me because, like I said, it wasn't one of my favorites. But now I'm like, when you watch it, it's like, hey, yeah, I mean, and the way they interact with each other next time you watch it, definitely keep that in the back of your mind and see what happens. So anyway, that's my third one. That's it. And yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, groovy pad, two good-looking young men, not a woman in sight, except for you've got eagle eyes that have that pornographic picture in the truck.
Oh my gosh, yes, the truck drivers.
And that's very provocative. And also, the only women in the film are those crazy Utopian women that are dancing around Antonio. So whatever.
Antonio.
But there we go. Thanks for that, Jonathan. Thanks for that. That was awesome. And with that, I'm going to pass it down to Christine. I'm sure everybody's ready for me to move on. Christine. Oh, no. Is it John? Christine or John?
It's Christine.
Okay, Christine.
I'll take it. All right.
Who are you going to talk about?
So I'm going to start off back in the 60s. There's some loving going on in the 60s. In Son of Godzilla, actually, which is one of my favorite Showa films. They've got, the jungle vibes, and there's some jungle loving that's going on. It's Son of Godzilla on Souljo Island, man.
Yeah.
So I really like this relationship between Maki and Psycho. So when he first sees her, right before they're about to start their experiment, he sees her swimming out in the lake, and he must have been. I feel like he was so smitten with her, like that's why he kept rubbing his face. He's like, "Oh my gosh, there's this beautiful girl out here." And then he made it a point to go and look for her after, the whole island had become in this turmoil. and he was worried about her even before they had started the experiment. And I think it's really cute to watch the interactions between them because they're like they first off very friendly and like flirty and fun, and then it like progresses into this friendship where they're always together. She takes him to see, the Red Water. They go on the excursion, like, and they run into Kamanga, and they kind of grow together through this film, and then he learns more about her life living on the island. She was on the island for 7 years by herself after her father had died. And it's just fun to watch how their relationship kind of grows. You could tell they like each other, and then eventually at the end, she's on the raft with all of them, and she's gonna go back to Japan with Maki.
Yeah.
The assumption that he wants to bring her with him back to Tokyo.
It's not the assumption. He basically says to her, Christine, you're coming with us. And she's like, gives him a big hug. She's like, oh, really? So she digs him. She digs him.
So I really liked watching that. This is one of my favorite show films. I always thought like this relationship was very cute and just kind of very light and fun and flirty. And so that was my first film. So the second one
Good choice.
is with... So the name Goro Maki is very popular in the Godzilla films.
Yes,
so now
yes,
we have
it is.
another Goro Maki with Naoko. And this relationship I like too because it started off a little rough. As you know, Naoko had thought her brother was missing when the ship got attacked by Godzilla when he first emerged. And Maki was a reporter. So he kind of used the situation of her being reunited with her brother to further his like reporter's agenda. And so at the beginning, she kind of gave him the cold shoulder because she didn't like being used for a news media. But then over time, as he's always hanging out at Professor Hayashida's lab with her where she had been working, they kind of, start to notice each other, I feel like. And as the movie progresses, now Godzilla's attacking, and Maki is like trying his hardest to make sure that she's safe and that nothing will happen to her. One of my favorite scenes is when they're stuck in the tower and they're airlifting everyone out to go to Mount Mahara. And so the brother gets out, and like Maki is like so hard trying to make sure that nothing happens to Naoko. And there's that super cute scene where, well, it's cute, but it's funny, where Maki decides for some reason that the best way to use a drill is to have it going 100 miles an hour before you stick it into the screw. So, I mean, this obviously was a genius plan by him. So obviously, the drill breaks and he gets injured on his arm. And there's that really sweet scene where she's, tending to his wounds, and they share like a little special moment, just staring into each other's eyes lovingly. And I just thought that was so cute. But then I love how the rest of that, he's like, there's this whole scene of them, trying to get out of the building, and then Godzilla's attacking, and he's like almost stepping on them, and he's like holding her to keep her safe, and it's so cute. And then at the end, they're in the helicopter, watching as poor Godzilla fall into Mount Mahara, and they've kind of had this victory together. And he did. He got her out safely, like he said. Made sure she didn't get hurt. And it kind of turned around from, in the very beginning, she didn't like him because of what he did to her. And at the end, they kind of grew together along this journey of trying to survive and find a way to defeat Godzilla. And then the very last love connection that I have is from my favorite movie, Godzilla vs. Biollante. Now, this one isn't as prevalent. There's just like, I feel like in this movie, there's just like hints. They kind of just wanted to throw in like a romantic relationship, but there is one there. And this one,
very subtle. It's very subtle.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Film where she says, "I'm not going to be Juliet to your Romeo," because they start off, and it's already been like put out there that they've been dating. She's the daughter of, oh shoot, what's the name of the company? Of like her dad's.
Her dad's, yeah.
I literally just watched it the other day. And then he's a researcher. So like her dad is into this like genetic engineering stuff, and he's more like a researcher scientist, and they kind of butt heads on that, her family and him. So it kind of is like a Romeo and Juliet kind of a situation. But there's just like little tinges of them throughout this film. Like the really sweet scene where they're standing by the water and Mount Mahara is erupting in the background.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a very beautiful image, and they're constantly thrown in there throughout the film. I mean, she's mostly with Miki Sagusa, and another thing I just wanted to touch on quick regarding love connections. Maybe it's not really a love connection, but relationship between Mickey and Godzilla. This is the first film where they started that connection that progressed through the Heisei films, where she eventually, I guess you would say, fell in love with Godzilla, where Mickey Sagusa fell in love with Godzilla. So I just want to touch on that too, because I love the whole arc, how they just like put that throughout the whole Heisei series of Mickey's progression with her relationship regarding Godzilla.
She had a great character arc throughout.
Mm-hmm.
She does. She does in Space Godzilla in a creepy way.
Yes, she does.
You ain't got to kill him.
You know, this segment that we're doing is really great, because for those people who maybe want to go to the bathroom when the monster's not on screen, maybe you'll stay and watch and see what's going on, because a lot of people do that. They fast forward, watch the whole thing, and maybe you'll learn something that, you know, I want to watch this now so I can see the subtlety of it. Like it's inspired me to go watch some of these movies that aren't on my regular rotation. You know what I mean? But it's I think it's a great segment. I believe this was Christine's idea, wasn't it, for this segment?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think it's a great idea. So, cool. John.
Wow.
Ruffin.
So
you ready?
These are yes. I think I'm ready. I'm not going to be long-winded, but there is a foundational love relationship that started in the '60s in the the kaiju genre that was so influential with me growing up, and I would probably say with you, David, the original Ultraman series. This mysterious but never really fulfilled love between Hayata and Fuji. You feel the tension. You know it's something there, but it just never really congeals. And then you find out, I don't know, 40-something years later, 50 years later, because I never watched the Japanese version. You know, it's all about the English dub, and I didn't realize Hayata didn't remember anything after Ultraman, crashed into his ship up until Zayton is destroyed. Ultraman and Zophie, he doesn't know what happened. So Fuji's really in love, maybe in love with, maybe it was with her and Ultraman himself. So, but you can see it. It's the tension's there, and there's a photo. There's a photo behind the scene, and I did put it up on. I think I put it up on the G Drive, but I might have forgotten to put it up on the Google Drive, where there is like behind the scenes. They're young, and there's Kurobe-san and Sakura-san behind him, peeking over his shoulder. Have you ever seen that? Did you ever see that shot?
No,
it's awesome.
No.
Oh man, yeah, they have this great. Oh, it just made sense for them to connect, but just that, and you see it kind of it worked out. They were the prototype for every Ultraman series after that, so it's foundational. It's foundational. My second, and I wanted to say, and you saw my thunder, Leslie. It was very much a Superman and Lois Lane kind of relationship in a sense, but Ultraman is a a Japanese Superman. With that said, let me get on to the next one of a tragic love connection that never happened. It's depressing.
Oh, this one's interesting.
This
one's real interesting.
Here we go.
55 was rushed, I would say. I think we would agree on that. And this is a love triangle, but it's kind of undeveloped, but it's tragic. It's similar to 54 is a similar kind of template between, and it's unknown, Kobayashi and Yamaji and then Hidemi, and then you have and you don't know, it's a secret and it's played up to be a Kobayashi and Hidemi. Like in the middle of the film, where they're at dinner, and his nickname is Mr. Groom. He hasn't found a wife yet, and he has his little diary, or I'm not sure if it's a wallet diary, and she wants to see, he has it, and she wants to see it, and he pulls it down, and you don't find out that he really he loves her or would love to make that love connection.
She found out about
late in the film, at the
did.
very end after his tragic death.
John, question for you. I've got another question for you that I didn't ask you before. Now, I don't know her name, but the other radio controller, the other radio operator, did she love Kobayashi? Was she into him and he wasn't into her?
Initially, that's what just from I thought, but there's not enough evidence for me to say. But I thought that it was just four of them. They each had each other, but that's what I always assumed. Because this film never really, I just enjoyed certain scenes, never really thought about the story, I have to say. But it's very much a sad. Kobayashi turns out to be, to me, a type of Japanese character you find a lot in Ultraman, but he's like a prototype to Arashi in Ultraman. I mean, tragic kind of figure. His life, he dies tragically. Obviously, he showed in his death when Godzilla, his blast, his plane goes into the ice, into the mountain. It shows how to, it gives him the plan to bury Godzilla, essentially. But it's just wow, it's pretty brutal. And the movie is not, obviously, it doesn't have the quality of 54. So it's kind of, you don't appreciate the relationships maybe as much, but it's there. I mean, he's kind of like a Serizawa.
You're right. He sacrificed himself.
So
I'm not buying it. I ain't buying that. No, sorry about it.
I'm just saying. They probably saw that formula and wanted to. Okay.
You of all people need to find out, because you can translate these things. Find out what the director intended, because the American version, the scene where they have the bonfire on Iwato Island, Tsukioka says to him, "You might want to think about getting the girls a gift when you get back." So I just assumed that he was with the other one.
With the other girl, exactly.
Who knows?
But that's the American version.
Yeah,
you're talking about the dub where they just were like, "Here, we're gonna make all this dialogue that doesn't happen in the Japanese film."
They may have just pulled that out of thin air, but in my mind, I just saw those two together. And then the other two, and then like, oh, wait a minute, no, he's got her picture in there, blah 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 blah. So it's like,
I wasn't really sure whose picture it was for a long time. I never thought about it.
What the hell is that?
Right, but anyway, it's interesting. And then at the end, just the reflection on his death by Suikioka, in the plane, he kind of offers a prayer of remembrance, in a sense, to Kobayashi. So it's kind of like 54, a little bit. Like Dr. Yamane at the end, I mean, just
John, I see you. I hear you. I see the tragedy. I see sacrificing yourself for the good of the world. I get it.
Yes.
I see it.
You might have stumbled into it, but it happened. Now, my last this is bizarre, but in tragic love connection.
This one.
There's two films that are now intriguing me, and they're also stories about boats. One is one takes the heroes to victory in Ebera, and the other, it ain't the Love Boat, y'all.
Oh hell no. It's Lord of the Flies. No. It's Lord of the Flies. It is.
Sure
watch this again.
And a loose hip will sink ships. It ain't a good boat to be on. So I'm talking about Matango and the professor, and not Marianne, but Professor, and Mariah and Soma. And the truth of the matter is, this could be understood as a love story. Gone, just didn't. That just tragic ended because he's telling it from his perspective. He's already returned. He made it. He's a survivor, and he regrets not staying behind with her. So it's really all about them in a way. She's trying to fit in.
Yeah.
It's so much. It's tragic. It's tragic, and
There's a lot of
she's
layers
not
to this,
like the
man.
others.
There's
And
a lot of layers to this.
a lot of layers. And dude didn't stay with her. He regrets.
No.
He didn't do it. So, and then you had what's her mommy? She's a mess.
Oh, mommy.
She's
a mess.
a mess.
She's a mess.
She had travel plans. But yeah, she's fascinating story and fascinating.
There's one way of
sad,
looking at
tragic.
it.
What was that?
That's one way of looking at it. She had travel plans.
If any of you haven't seen Matango, please watch it because it's so much more than meets the eye. And like John said, and he just keyed something in my mind. I have to say it. They were all trying to fit in together to be part of this group. Yet the island forced them all to be the same thing, right?
Yes.
And then instead of staying there with his love, now here's another question: what would you do? Would you try to escape, or would you just turn into a mushroom and grow old and moldy with your love? Which would you do?
Yeah.
Old and
I'm gonna say something terrible.
Say it.
Yeah, she got a disease, and he left her.
Oh my
that's
focus.
There's a lot of
But
layers.
in the end,
there's a lot
in the
there,
end,
y'all.
didn't he have the disease as well?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I'm just
Because
saying,
he
y'all,
didn't
there's a lot there. That's a story.
He ate those mushrooms. He ate those mushrooms on the boat. He was starving.
I can't wait to see the theses that are going to come out of this discussion.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about after this episode. Sure.
That's a twisted movie, but I can appreciate it. I've watched it like twice over the last month, and it's the opposite to Ebra, but it came before it, and it's very interesting. It doesn't end tragically. Ebra doesn't end tragically like Matango, but they're like the same stories, but just go off. They didn't need Godzilla and Ebra. They did. It's human stories again. Human stories.
The humans were the monsters again. The humans are the monsters.
Yes.
And
that's enough from my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's sad because she didn't deserve. She's
sweet. She was a sweet girl. Yeah, she was innocent and sweet. The other ones were jaded. She was the only one that was innocent.
Yeah, they were getting on her and getting on both of them. He was a professor, and a lot. And I will say they do. Well, what if this had happened on Gilligan's Island? That'd be a whole nother story. But you could.
Somebody needs to write a comparison. They need to write a comparison between this and the Lord of the Flies. It's the breakdown of society. Once everything is taken away, you're stripped of everything, and all you need to do is survive. It breaks it down, and it's fascinating.
It was an episode of Survivor, the real Survivor. Yeah. In some way. Okay, that's enough of my mouth. It
was good. I liked it.
Fascinating. Definitely fascinating, John. What an interesting topic we've come up with. And let's see here. Segueing, I would say that, it may not buy groceries, but mutual trust is a beautiful thing. And I'm going to be talking about Nick Adams and Kumi Mizuno.
Perfect.
As astronaut Glenn and Miss Namikawa from Monster Zero, one of my favorite movies of all time. And this is, I guess, consequently, one of my favorite relationships in a kaiju movie of all time. I don't want to say that this is a relationship I would base any sort of relationship in my own life on. I wouldn't use this as a formula for a good relationship, but man, talk about a passionate relationship that's got the heat and has consequences beyond what you could even compare because look, we're not robots, but the balance of the world hangs on this relationship. If it weren't for Namikawa passing Glenn this note, because she found a love beyond computation, then we wouldn't even be here, guys.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway,
you're not wrong.
I love these guys. I love the dynamic that these two have on screen. And I have to say, in terms of relationships, this was 1965. They're showing an interracial, interplanetary as well relationship in this movie, and to me, that's progression, even in a Godzilla movie. Anyway, I don't need to keep going on and on about this, but basically, I chose this movie as the first relationship, and then in chronological order, we'll go. I didn't think everybody was going to do Ultraman stuff, by the way, because I actually chose Ultra Q specifically because from the first episode all the way through the last episode of Ultra Q, there's this very playful, sometimes cruel almost to Ippei, but relationship between the two main leads, which are June, played by Kenji Sahara, and Yuriko, played by Hiroko Sakurai. They definitely have some kind of relationship, even though they never really show any romance on screen. There's clearly a scene where the two of them jump into a car and ditch Ippei, the third wheel of the show, and it just was kind of like, oh, I see how it is. That's the kind of relationship you guys built. It's like subtle, but at the same time, you can see that like if they had like another 20 episodes, they probably would have developed it. That's my number 2, and then number 3 is Godzilla vs. Gigan. You know, I'm a huge fan of this movie. And so the two actors you're seeing, actually I can't remember the actor's name, but Gengo, the main character, is a comic book artist. His girlfriend, don't know what she does for a living except kick ass. So hey,
that's a good career.
It's really, in my opinion, this is actually one of the more fun and playful relationships. If you watch this movie without thinking that they're actually having fun, you're like, wow, what a terrible relationship these guys are in. Like, he's afraid of her, and he's using his artwork as a subtle means of like getting in some digs. And really, though, they're playful. And if you have that kind of relationship with somebody, and you know that kind of like gentle and sometimes fun like ribbing that you do of each other, that's what these guys have, and it's hilarious to me, and I love seeing it on screen. So congrats to these two. I'm sure after they blew up the Godzilla Tower, they probably tied the knot and continued to draw incredible artwork and kick incredible ass throughout the rest of their lives together.
You Mamagan. You Mamagan.
Is on the way out.
I'll marry you when you get back. When I get back.
Oh, David, your quote went wrong.
I know.
Anyway, so there it goes. That's our segment on Kaiju Love Connections. Thank you for all the comments I got on the crazy thumbnail that we created for it. It was inspiration struck whilst I was here in Japan. I had to make that happen.
Well, thank you.
Jonathan Portman, I have not been in touch with your cohort, but is Ryan? I didn't give him the link. Is he around? Is he going to join us today?
He's in the chat room.
Ryan's in the chat? Okay, I'm going to send Ryan the link. You guys talk amongst yourself for a split second while I do this.
Yeah, man, it makes us want to go back and watch these movies in a different way now. Like the monster action is secondary to all of this human drama that goes on, and it's definitely, you know, I love that we can see different things about these movies, you know, 40, 50 years, you know, from the time that they were released, and watch them with a modern perspective, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say a woke perspective, but a modern perspective. You know what I mean?
Emiko's ratchet. Emiko is ratchet.
Oh my god.
Oh, you better.
I knew it was coming. I knew eventually it was
I'm
coming.
surprised you didn't say that earlier.
Emiko is ratchet for bringing the side dude to the
I
bamboo
mean,
house.
how could you resist Takarado? Come on, man.
I get that, but you couldn't have him stand outside. Like you're gonna, like, cause you remember the scene, right? Because Emiko brings Ogata, right? Serizawa comes in from the other hallway, so when he sees the room they're in, he only sees her. When he walks in and turns the corner, he's sitting right there.
Blindsided.
Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
what is going on here? And then once he got the full news, like, okay, so not only did you betray my secret, now I'm losing my woman. Now I can't really work on my research anymore, so I have nothing to live for. You know
Nothing.
what? I'm gonna call her at the airport, and I'm booking my ass up out of here. Godzilla is your problem. You can do what you want to, but I'm gone. And you know what? It's funny. In Destroyer, you don't hear anything about Ogata. So I think they never got together.
Wow.
They never
You know
got
what?
together.
Oh.
That's a good
never
point.
got him
That's a good
back.
point. They should have said something about him in some fashion, you know?
Maybe
And,
he passed or something.
Maybe Ogata was so distraught after the death of Serizawa, he was just like, I can't even look at you anymore.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he was the
Serizawa
one.
got the last
Man.
laugh. He got the last laugh by saying, Ogata, be happy together. I'm sure Dad was like, oh, God. Oh, God.
Huh?
Good for you, Serizawa.
No.
Good for you, Serizawa.
Serizawa did not know the real deal until she went over to him and started doing getting the cut.
Yeah.
That was the moment. It's like, I'm done. I'm out.
Painful.
I mean, the acting on his face, that was like nonverbal acting that at its best. I mean, he just looked like, I'm out. I'm out of the picture.
At least he only saw it with one eye.
Oh, you guys are harsh, man.
So maybe he didn't really even see it.
You just worry about backstabbing. You just worry about backstabbing Kobayashi, who's in love with his best friend's girl. Okay. Don't worry about this. No.
All right.
No, sir.
We're just damn cruel.
He's trying to log on now, so we should be moving along to our collector moment.
Yes,
Jonathan,
please.
go ahead and add yourself to the screen anyway. Hey, it's Jonathan Portman, everybody! Our producer for this episode. Thank you very much, sir. How are you?
Uh-oh. Mute. You're on mute.
Oh.
Yes.
I was too busy
excellent.
laughing. I was too busy laughing at everything that you guys were saying to recognize getting in here. I was like, oh boy, you guys are harsh. Holy crap. Ooh. Comments are going crazy right now.
I can't wait to read them later.
Oh, yeah.
Mark,
Oh,
are you
yeah.
seeing half of what I see?
That was an interesting segment. That really was. That was fun. Christine, good job for that.
These
Indeed.
movies have all kinds of other sides to them.
I know, like, as I was thinking, I'm like, there's pretty much almost every film has some sort of romantic kind of
Here he comes.
injection into it.
Undertone.
Hey.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hi.
What's up? Wait, where's the Wilhelm scream?
Woo, yeah, woo!
Hi.
All right.
How's it going,
Are
guys?
you guys experiencing a delay?
No,
No.
I don't think
not
so.
really.
Not on my end.
Oh, you're good. I think you're good.
Good on my end.
You're good.
I'm experiencing a delay, but that's just me. And let's stop that delay and start the collector moment. All right, so we are here joined by Jonathan Portman and Ryan Wilhelm, two of our fantabulous moderators for the Collect All Monsters Monster Collector group. And, of course, on Facebook, if you are not a member of our group, this is our moment to actually show off some of the rad stuff that is happening in our group, because it's one of the most active and fun Godzilla collector groups I've ever been a part of, and I'm really happy that, super stoked that we are the ones that are like spearheading this whole thing. But we're here, Jonathan and Brian are here to show off this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing photo number 1, and you guys just take it away. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle, and thank you everybody for being here. We're back with another collector's moment, and here first up, I believe, Ryan, this is your call, so you take it away.
Oh, yes. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture from our good friend Dave, and he is showing off the new Toho Maniacs. I mean, come on. This may be my favorite, if I'm being honest. When you put a King Ghidorah behind it, like, holy moly. I hope they keep this line going. Yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10 shot. We need to miss Namikawa. We were talking about her earlier, right, in the show. So, like, this is just 10 out of 10 stuff, in my opinion. So shout out to Dave. This is an awesome picture.
Great photo, Dave. And you know what? There is a collector's aspect to our last segment. I'm going to say real quick. All of those people that we talked about, many of them would be great in the Toho Maniacs line. Just saying. There you go. Sorry.
True.
Agreed 100%.
Not Emiko.
Oh, that's better stop.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Kyle. And next we have what I like to call glowing gojis. We have from Sofubi Sunday, the hashtag. I like to, shout these out because we're really trying to encourage the hashtags daily. I think it's a really unique thing for the group, and it's something a lot of people can have fun with, and they have, including Efren Flores. Thank you very much for this. I love this sculpt. I love this figure. I have it myself. The amount of glow you got from the translucency is I don't think people take advantage of it enough, and it's an amazing post. Great figure. Thank you so much.
You can feel the heat.
Mr. Flores, yes, you can.
Oh, I love this one.
Okay, so this is a cool one. This is Adam Griffin's shot. I believe he got one of these from David here, and another piece from AJ, and so it's just cool. To me, this highlights what our group is all about. It's just collecting things and sharing collections with other collectors who maybe want certain pieces more than you at different times, and you rotate things in and out, and it's all about the journey, right? So, this is coast to coast collecting all monsters, pretty much. It's awesome.
Yeah, that just happened in our segment earlier. Christine has a piece that was mine, so there we go.
That's awesome. Ties us all together.
Ooh, here we go.
Ooh, I want some
now
sushi.
next here. Oh my goodness, we have Ultra Hungry Kaiju Sushi from Cortland Towns III. Now, I for one am a huge fan of this. Nick Sides and I often we go get some food somewhere. We'll both bring little figures with us, and we'll take pictures at the restaurant. I love it when people do stuff like this. I highly encourage it. Take your photos, especially when you're out getting sushi and whatnot. I love the colors and everything about it. Just thank you so much for the post, Cortland, and keep it up, everyone.
Yeah, awesome.
I, for one, am a huge fan of sushi.
Yes.
Cortland's the man. Speaking of the man, the main man, Jay Key. Shout out to Jay Key in Toku Toy Town. He's on his quest 89 to 89, and he's been highlighting, pun intended, the new translucent neon gems that they've been coming out with. And if you guys don't have any of those yet, I highly recommend them. They're just really fun pieces. They shout out the old school, like Universal Monster model kits to me from back in the 90s, if you know what I'm talking about. But I love the translucent neon stuff. So he's on the quest 89 to 89. Let's, help him get there. And it's a cool thing to see.
What number is he on now? Do you know?
I think he said 50, maybe a little more than 50.
He's more than halfway there.
Like he's got quite a lot. So
I don't even think there's even 89 colorways out yet.
All right, so we all got to
Not
buy
yet,
stuff
right?
from Toku Toy Town so we can achieve this goal, okay?
Exactly.
Let's
We
do
gotta
it.
help him
Let's
out.
all buy a toy from Toku Toy Town.
I'm doing it right now.
Doing it right now? Okay. Outstanding.
There's totally Japanese sirens outside right now. It's giving me Godzilla vibes. I'm loving it.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna say I thought
I'm like down the street from a fire department.
I was like, did I add a weird sound effect? Okay, now
Wow.
now this is okay. Now, this is one of my favorite things about the hashtags is just getting all the pictures from everyone in the group together. Toku Tech Tuesday. I know it's a tongue twister for me myself. Even I created it. It's crazy, but I love it. I think everyone else is loving it too. We just get to see a lot of cool things. Especially, the vehicles, the tech do not get enough love. It's always mostly about the kaiju, and today we talked about the human characters, rightfully so. But also let's pay attention to a bunch of the creations that Subaraya and Co created for us and developed for us. And that goes to beyond to Kawakita and forward. So really great stuff. Very imaginative. I love all the photos in here. I will be linking everyone's contributions in here, but I'm pretty sure if you're in here, you can see your photo, you'll recognize it for sure. So congratulations to everybody.
Nice.
Thank you so much for posting on these hashtags and keep it up. We love to see it.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Awesome.
Ooh, and then this is, I believe this is the final one. This is TYG Tastic Purple Power from Adam Pasquale. Now, I know this figure recently has been getting a lot of love and it's been getting posted, rightfully so. And just the way it looks here, I mean, just the way he composed it, the background into the foreground. I love the effect here. I love just the presentation of it. It's really striking, especially with all the colors in the background. Really great stuff from Adam. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Such a nice sculpt.
Very cool.
Right, Leslie? Isn't it great, Leslie?
Actually, I got to say something about this sculpt. I know Leslie is we're going to give him a little guff for not liking Sofubi. This thing is huge.
Yeah.
I saw this in person on the trip. One of our trip members actually had one. And it's one of the largest Sofubi pieces I've seen that's not supposed to be a gigantic Sofubi piece. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if this is supposed to be scaled just like with other stuff on your on your shelf, it's going to be a shelf hog. Gorgeous sculpt. And this is the same guy I mentioned many moons ago. TYG is I think that's part of his Instagram handle. Gorgeous stuff. The one I saw was clear and painted and just stunning. So if you're into the Desugoji look, this is definitely one to keep an eye out for, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it.
I love the tail. I love how the tail curves. It's really interesting.
That's my
exactly
favorite
what it
part.
is. I love
Yeah,
it.
For sure.
Has so much character.
I have one special mention, honorable mention to the Collector's Minute, if I may. You talked about Jay Key. Jay Key posted this dope infomercial. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
I'm not even going to say
Yes,
what it
he did.
is. I'll highlight it at the top of the page. It was so funny, I almost peed my pants. It was, Kyle, you've seen it, right? Did you see it?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
It is
Fantastic.
so
Awesome.
freaking funny.
Oh,
And Jay,
awesome.
hats off to you for that.
Yeah.
And you got to win some kind of an award for that because I'll
Yes.
tell you what, perfection.
100%.
And my wife wants some. She said she wants some of that stuff.
Mine as well, please. Yeah. I'm sure.
Sofubi gone. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
food be gone. No,
I could use this to turn everything into fine wine. Everything.
He nailed that. He nailed that. And Keith will not see that infomercial. It's not going to be.
Leslie's like, hey, I'll be the spokesperson.
It's turned into a
You
X
know what?
plus.
You should have got Leslie as a do a testimonial.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been even
Oh
better.
my
That
God.
would have been even better.
So I forgot to talk to Jonathan about giving away a record.
Oh,
Oh.
shoot.
Oh.
I have it.
Do you still have that?
It's here somewhere.
If
Yes,
you have it handy
I do.
and you still want to do it, especially now that the pressure's on, because I'm asking you live, hey, I would just say that.
Like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll take a
Give me
thought.
the-
Sitting
I'll take
in
a
the
thought.
background.
We actually, I should have actually mentioned this to everybody, but what is it that you have, Jonathan, that you're willing to give away?
Okay, cool. So, I went to Designer Con, back in November, and my good buddy of mine and a good buddy of the show, Nick Sides, was going there as well, and he got there before me. And I asked him, I was like, hey, if you get to the Mondo booth, can you cop me one of those Rebirth of Mothra 2 vinyls that they're selling because my thoughts on the Rebirth of Mothra series are, they are movies, but the music, I think, is one of those instances where the music supersedes the quality of the movie, and it makes it palatable for me, especially number 2. Number 2 score, I think, is one of the best and strongest in that series, definitely for sure. But there was some miscommunication. I think what happened was I got a double of the first soundtrack for Rebirth of Mothra, so I had an extra. So with that, I am going to be giving away brand new, completely still in the wrapping.
Woo!
Nice.
Rebirth of Mothra, the vinyl from Mondo.
Outstanding.
That's
Fantastic. So if you're interested in winning this, what you need to do, and I'm sorry for talking over you for a second, Jonathan, but basically you need to do what Jordan's doing, which is in the chat here. You write #record winner, and we're gonna probably just have a little convo real quick while, if anybody's interested in getting this record, go ahead and throw that in right now, because when we're done with the conversation, give it maybe a minute or so. I'll go to the StreamYard.com giveaway tool, and we'll go ahead and pick a winner for this. And thank you, by the way, Jonathan, for offering this as a prize.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Absolutely.
All of these new fangled records that have been coming out have really, really got me interested in trying to maybe get back into the vinyl game, the other vinyl game.
Yes.
Well, Kyle,
vinyl game. Yeah,
Kyle, it does say here Rodan is still coming soon. So.
Yeah, they had Rodan on pre-order, so that is actually if I still am feeling that, I will go probably order that one when I get back in.
I love
the Rodan. I believe the Rodan Godzilla vs. Mothra, as well as one more. GMK. GMK.
Oh, yep. Those are all
from artwork too. Their records are just
a lot of
they
people
do such a
don't
good job with their records.
A lot of people don't like Godzilla vs. Mothra, but I like the score. I do.
I will say this.
Yeah, I like the
I
score.
agree.
Good tunes.
Leslie, you and I had this conversation in our live stream about the music, and you asked me what was the most overrated score, and I did say Godzilla vs. Mothra, but my reasoning was it's not because I'm hating on it. It's because all the music to me, yes, he brought back a lot of great cues from the previous Showa era films and revitalized them. But I think in terms of score overall, there are some beautiful tracks in that score. The end title is beautiful. Godzilla vs. Mothra, battle track is awesome. The Infant Island recreation is awesome, but as a whole, out of all the scores, I just felt like that one maybe was a little overrated just because of just the main sheer quality of what we get overall. But other than that, it's awesome. I'm getting it myself still, so I'm excited.
It's basically like Jaws 4. Like the score is better than the actual movie itself.
Yes.
So
yes,
that's perfect.
Sure.
That's a good analogy. Yeah, that's perfect. Rodan, I'm stoked for though.
Oh, Rodan's.
Oh yes.
Talk about a score, man.
And GMK, Kyle. Although, do you like the score for that one? Yeah, you like the score for that one.
I love the score for that one.
Yeah,
it's an amazing
Kootani,
score.
man. I want to see what are they going to do. Gamera? Huh? They're going to do Gamera.
They should do Gamera.
They should
because it's a great score.
Oh,
all right, so we're going to go ahead. We've got quite a few entries, so let's go ahead and start collecting those comments. 15 entries. And let's draw and figure out who's going to be the winner.
Good luck.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Robert! Fantastic, man.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Congratulations, Robert. And thank you for everybody for trying to win that. That's cool. So, Robert, we're going to ask you to just send us your information, and Jonathan will get that sent out to you. And thank you again, Jonathan Portman, for giving that away. It's very generous of you, my friend.
Absolutely, guys. Anytime.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Collect All Monsters. Thank you guys very much for being here for this 2.5-hour show. I am gonna probably after this maybe lay down for a little nap and go on my day.
Yeah, you deserve that.
Yes.
But I just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. We had a really great. We still have 55 people watching the show, which is killer.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
And like Leslie talked about at the top of the show, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up with Collect All Monsters and beyond. So please stay tuned for all that awesome stuff. Make sure you join the Facebook group if you'd like to see what all the hubbub is about. Because, if you're already on the Book of Faces, you should definitely come hang out with us. Should be a link in the show notes to that as well, in addition to our merch, which is on TeePublic. So check that out as well. I think that's where I have to tell you guys that I got talked into doing the Collect All Monsters end chatter thing that I do in front of the camera crew at Kaiju Sakaba the other day. And I absolutely biffed it, though. I totally was like, I missed one. I can have a few drinks behind me. So I'm just going to redeem myself and say, until next time, our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. And we must unite and collect all monsters. See you guys later.